the bench with Hutchie and Pickers for Maccas and Tyre Power.
Yeah, I've had to drop Hutchie home, of course. He snored the whole way. He seriously sat in the front seat. This is how selfish this man is, right? I got my daughter in the back. She's got her headphones on watching a movie. Yeah. I'm driving. I've got Hutchie sitting next to me, catching flies. And he wakes up. He turns my radio down. Let's just have a bit of peace and quiet for a minute. I said, listen here. This isn't an Uber.
Saturday mornings from 9.
You got a helicopter from the top of our building.
No, you did. Not from your own office.
Absolutely.
You didn't get it. Nah.
I saw that. I threw it whirring. Took off, sort of tilting to one side. I thought, oh, she's on there. You've dressed up a holiday to your partner. You've left her in Perth.
Was it tough?
You've come to Sydney to go to watch Winx. When you get back, she's all excited. She's expecting a night out at some flash restaurant.
Okay, guys, 30 seconds to the intro.
Bloody up the stadium. Unheard of behaviour.
Five seconds to the intro.
It's time for the match of the round. Let's cross to our team and go.
Okay, here we go, guys. You're all set?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to put your mic on now. Stand by. And go.
And you're listening to 1377 SEN Plus. It's EFL Game Day here live from Coldstream. We're bringing you the Division 4 clash between Coldstream and Sylvan, and perfect conditions out here for footy in this round 12 of the Eastern Football League. 22 games on offer across the Eastern Footy League as you go local for your football. Should be a great one out here. Third playing fifth, and the permutations of this classic out here will obviously have effect on the Division 4 table. My name's Steve White, and we'll be bringing you all the action here this afternoon until 2 o'clock, when we'll bring you live action between Coldstream and Sylvan. And then don't forget to stay on with us till 5 o'clock when we bring you the EFL post-game show. We'll bring you all the scores and results around the Eastern Football League. And tomorrow, EFL Sunday from 10 o'clock, join BWS and the crew, and they'll break down all the weekend's action as well as a few interviews from the coaches. Time now to introduce the panel for the EFL game pre-show. And first of all, the super coach, Brett Davidson.
Steve, how are you? And welcome to a very sunny Coldstream, which is something I haven't said for a long, long time. But it's looking magnificent. The ground looks great. There's not a breath of wind in the air, so it looks like we could have a very, very good game, open game of football today.
And also joining us this afternoon, the media manager of the Eastern Football League, Dan Sensick.
Yeah, good afternoon, Steve. Really looking forward to this clash. As you mentioned, Davo, picturesque conditions out here. We haven't been out here to Coldstream for over 2 years now, but really looking forward to it. 3 versus 5, and we're going to learn a heck of a lot about Division 4 after this weekend's out.
Yeah, I think it was 2017 versus Forest Hill was the last game we were out here, and it was just miserable conditions.
Yep.
But we all came expecting the worst here, and we've gotten the best. So an interesting clash. Just get your thoughts, preliminary thoughts on these two teams, how they're travelling so far this year, David.
Yeah, look, it's been a little bit of an up and down season for both these teams, and I think one of the key things you can talk about with Coldstream has been injuries. We had them in the radio game against East Burwood at East Burwood, and we thought it was going to be a really tight contest, and it ended up being that East Burwood got away with a reasonable win that day. So, I suppose I'm looking forward to seeing exactly the different styles of play that we might get here, with Sylvan playing their home games on a very, very... You fit 2 of Sylvan in this ground.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how they play in the big grounds. And then it'll be also interesting to see how Coldstream respond. They had a great win last week against Surrey Park by a point, which was a huge win in the context of the positions within the ladder. And again, if they can roll on and have another win today against another Final 4 aspirant, that'll cement their spot in the final series. So, with the division being so lopsided, I suppose, having 2 divisions within one, the opportunity to have difficult games one after the other. It's not like Premier or First or Second or even Third Division, unfortunately. You might have 2 or 3 in a row where you've had an easier run against teams that are not as strong. So I think this is where Coldstream, they'll be really enjoying the aspect of being able to play 2 top sides in a row, which will really harden them up for final footy.
Yeah, and just looking at Sylvan, it's in the last 4 matches, they've played East Burwood, they've played Kilsyth, they've played Croydon North Emlock and Fair Park last week. Of course, there was a bye in there as well, but they're 1-1 from those 2 testing games that they had. They were defeated comprehensively by East Burwood, but as we mentioned, knocked over Fair Park by 8 points last week. But here's another opportunity for them, I guess, to test themselves against the better sides of Division 4, and we're going to learn even more about Sylvan today. Based on the result.
And we're going to be joined shortly by the coach of the Coldstream Footy Club, Chad Rogers. But we also, looking across the Division 4, it's sort of the finals series starting to take sort of shape with roughly 7 rounds to play. Sylvan, what are we looking like in terms of their chances of making finals?
Well, they certainly need to make sure that they've got they need to really start winning these sorts of games. So they need to have a win today. They then play Nuttawading. They then play Forest Hill at home. And then they've got Surrey Park, which is another big game. So they've got a couple of big games in front of them before they finish off with some easier games they finish off with Croydon Emlock and Kilsyth as their final 2 rounds. So Sylvan, they've got 2 big games in the next 4 weeks, so they'll be really primed to make sure that this week is one that they can use as that build-up to try and get into the final series. Whereas Coldstream, again, after last week, that will have given them enormous confidence to come out and play against another top 5 side and produce some good footies. Again, as we talk to Chad soon, we'll find out how the injury toll has affected them, because that has been one thing that's really hurt them during the second part of the season, has been those injuries to some really key players, especially their running players. So just see how we go when we have a chat.
And we're going to chat to Chad right now. Thanks, Dale, for that segue. Chad, welcome to the show. Sitting in 3rd right now, coming off a big win against Nuttawading. How's your season travelling, and what are you looking forward to the next couple of weeks?
I've just been looking forward to playing games like today, just to see where they're at. We turned the corner a bit against Surrey Park 2 weeks ago, where it was a really good contest. We shot ourselves in the foot to 3/4 time, where we dominated the game. Momentum came, they nearly got us, but it was good to be able to hold stead and win that game in the end. And then follow up the week after against Nuttawading after them sacking the coach. We knew they were going to come out fairly hard early and just match that and play footy how we want to play footy. And to have 49 scoring shots in those conditions, I was wrapped. We just didn't kick straight.
And just one more. Sorry, David. David just mentioned the injuries. How are you sort of coping with those in the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, so we had right from the East Burwood game, we copped a couple and then copped about 5 or 6 more during the next couple of weeks. We're just starting to get everyone back. We're still missing Cam Shield will play after the bye, which is great, and Mitch Edmonds will be back probably the same time, maybe the week after East Burwood.
And that's what I was going to say. Those 2 boys, especially Shield, I think people who don't maybe follow 4th Division footy don't understand the value of him in your side and his ability to... He's a link player, and he can play forward, he can play mid, and he's got his leg speed, and he's good overhead, which is really important in your structure, isn't it?
Yeah, he's a gun.
Yep.
He's played First Division footy. He's tough. He definitely makes us a 3 to 5 goal, but it just allows us to have greater flexibility. He can play forward, back, or in the mids, and he's tough, and that's what you miss. You miss those real inside nuggets who can get the ball out to the people on the outside.
And I suppose today, looking at coming up against the Sylvan side, that they're also wanting to. They need to win today. We're getting to that stage where you do look at the ladder a little bit and go, well, without I suppose putting down some of the sides in the lower divisions, they are more than likely going to be wins. And so then it comes down to these 8-point games, I suppose we used to classically call them. What are you expecting from Sylvan today compared with what you've seen from them previously?
Oh, not a lot different, I think. I think physicality and contested balls are a strength of theirs. Whether there's the big ground, we can exploit that by using the width of the ground and, holding our structures and playing the footy how we want to play, not get sucked into playing the footy that they want us to play. Use our outside speed that we know we've got, our classy footballers, and just using the ball better, not bombing it to suit their tools that they've got back.
And I suppose one of the keys today is going to be, as you said, your ability to contest hard, but then really use that outside speed, because that's one of the things that I suppose when you play the Sylvans, the Nutter Whitings, the Forest Hills, you play them on those grounds, it's so easy to get the ball tightens up.
Yeah.
It's contest after contest. Coming out here today, this is where you've got some great runners and they use the ball brilliantly. So it's the ability, I suppose, as you say, win that contest and spread as quickly as you can.
Yeah, 100%. And you still can't win the game if you're not actually winning that contested footy. So you need to get your hands on it first. You need to get it out and use it, quickly but smartly. No, don't rush, don't panic. Play some smart football, because if we just bomb it, we'll get hurt.
Looking at Division 4 on a broader scale, you've had a crack at all the teams now, and you've played East Burwood and Fair Park. What have you learnt from those two sides that currently sit above you on the ladder, and you play them after the bye?
Oh, we know they're very good and they're pretty strong right across the board. Don't have too many weak players, so it's harder to exploit them in different areas. What I do know is that with our full side, we're capable of matching those top two. I've got no problems with that, and so have Sylvan, and so have Surrey Park, and so have Forest Hill to a degree. So there is 6 sides trying to find battle to get into that top 4. It's going to come down the last couple of games.
You touched on the bigger ground before out here at Coldstream. I've got no doubt it's probably up there in the top 2 of the EFL as the biggest ground. Probably Tormore's the other one. You mentioned structures, but in regards to fitness, that plays a huge role. Do you find when sides come out here, they find themselves short of a breath, or they're unable to keep up, given that you guys play on this ground more often than not?
Yeah, probably. You just sometimes get a bit lost about what you want to do with the football, and probably run negative spaces and can overcook yourself because you're trying too hard to get to the right spot. So it's understanding what you need to do on these grounds and how you want to play.
All right, Chad, thanks for joining us here on EFL Game Day. Good luck to the boys this afternoon. Good luck for the rest of the season.
Thanks a lot, guys.
No worries. That's Chad Rogers of the Coldstream Football Club here, leading his side out today. And we'll take a short break here on SEN 1377. More of EFL Game Day right after this.
Australia v South Africa.
And that's
the new Australia's first dual-screen 5G phone lets you multi-screen anywhere, anytime. To win one of 50 LG V50s, visit lg.com.
SEN Footy streaming live and exclusively on the all-new SEN app.
Wow, there's some great timber colours here.
Yeah, that's right.
There's reds, browns. I think I want a bit of character. Oh, wow, look at all these choices. Oh, there's tulips.
Let's go for the tulips then. They just look gorgeous.
Turbin Brothers Funerals' latest Memory Maker app now gives you more choice than ever before. Select from a wide range of coffins, caskets and floral arrangements, view them in 360 degrees and compare selections and prices. Find out more at turbinbrothers.com.au. Turbin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Only 19 shots from 53 inside 50s, down on clearances and can't lay a tackle. What was the seniors coach going to do? Jono surprised himself and everyone else. The spray he gave the boys at halftime worked. Well, he did finish it by saying he'd shout him a post-game feed and frothies at Eastland if they won. For all of life and footy's little moments, there's Eastland, proud sponsors of the EFL. Eastland, live real.
Hello, I'm Peter Hitchener. 9 News invites you to join our team nightly at 6 for Melbourne's #1 news. Tony Jones with the latest sport, including the footy, plus Lavinia Nixon's weather forecast. 9 News, proud supporter of the Eastern Football League.
ROBOT, Robot Building Supplies.
Sometimes in footy, going through the motions, players can feel like a robot.
And what's wrong with that?
Nothing. Sorry, robot.
I can kick goals from 50 on my opposite leg.
No, you can't. But Robot Building Supplies can save us time and money. Steel sheeting and stumps.
Robots got it.
Wire mesh, roofing and timber.
Robots got it.
Notting Hill, Sunshine, Preston, Dramana, Pakenham, Coldstream and Darnham. RobotBuildingSupplies.com.au.
Robot Building Supplies.
Do you love the sound of this? What about this? Now, combine the two. and enter to be a part of Mechanics Day at Marvel Stadium. Thanks to Penrite Oil, Bendix Brakes and Ryco Filters. Mechanics, register now for your chance to win tickets for you and a workmate to the Bulldogs Demons game at Marvel Stadium Sunday, July 14. Enter now, iCanWin.com.au. And don't worry, there'll be plenty of food and beverages under the bonnet. Mechanics Day. Enter now, iCanWin.com.au.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. National Tiles now supply and install all their timber, hybrid and laminate flooring. Yes, National Tiles do it all for you. Measure, quote, supply and install all National Tiles timber, laminate and hybrid flooring. From just $1,300 fully installed for an average 26 square metre laminate living room floor, fully supplied and installed. Only at National Tiles.
Do you hold a current full Victorian motorcycle or scooter licence and want to earn some extra cash? Scooty. Melbourne's new two-wheeled taxi service is here. And right now, Scooty is looking for motor scooter drivers to beat Melbourne's traffic congestion and get people to the game, the gig or the meeting. Sign up at scooty.com.au or motor scooter into a money-making machine. Scooty. Delivering people.
Breakfast.
Giving you both the top. 30 seconds.
Okay, I'm going for the boy English at the Western Bulldogs.
Tim English.
I think he's Brodie Grundy 2 years away. I love this kid's skill. He's not strong enough in the ruck contest, but his hands are great. He's a good thinker. He uses the ball well. I reckon he's going to be a star.
For Melbourne Airport Valet, book 4 days online.
15.
Save on the greatest luxury safari adventures. AbercrombieKent.com.au. Back Monday from 6.
SEN Footy streaming live and exclusively on the all-new SEN app.
Okay, here we go. Putting the mics back on. And go.
And welcome back to 1377 SEN Plus. It's EFL Game Day coming to you from the Yarra Valley. Coldstream taking on Sylvan. Division 4 action here as you go local for your footy. 22 games across the Eastern Football League, and we'll be breaking down the other 21 of those fixtures shortly before we're joined by the coach of the Sylvan Footy Club, Trent Martin, for a chat. But some other big news I think we might touch on across Division 4. Nuttawading parting ways with Paul Bevan during the week. Our thoughts on that?
Well, it's a surprise, I must admit. It's not often that it's not so much the coaches don't get sacked mid-year, they do, but the fact that you've seen what Paul probably has been able to do with the club over a very trying couple of years, the fact that they've had their first win in 4 years basically this year, and then they've backed it up and had a second one and were close in another game. So look, the only thing I can think of is that something's either happened or they may have someone in mind. That's all I can think of.
Davo, you've coached extensively, and there's that saying coined by Dennis Pagan that there's two types of coaches, those that are sacked and those to be sacked. Having coached at multiple clubs, have you ever been in the situation where you can see the writing on the wall and things aren't going so great, and the way it might affect morale and connection with the players and whatnot? Do you think it may have been a case at Nuttawading?
Oh, look, that can definitely happen. Look, it's happened to me. I've been dismissed at two clubs mid-year, and both times they were in situations where the club wasn't travelling at the level that the committee wanted, and they wanted to make a change and hoped that was going to have an effect on the group. In both cases, it had no effect on the group, so that just can happen. But look, it is a difficult one, and unless you're actually right in amongst it, we're just making guesswork of it. But it's a bit disappointing when you see what the man's gone through and what he's been able to get out of that group. So we'll just it'll be watch this space and see exactly what they come up with and what the direction they're looking at, and seeing who's going to lead that direction from now on.
How does it affect the individual as a whole? As a coach, you a lot of time and it's basically your life, and then you moved on and there's a chunk of your life that's not there anymore. We've heard during the week that Brendan Bolton, who was moved on from Carlton, ago now. He's not travelling so well personally. How does it affect the individual that's moved on as coach?
Well, it's funny. You go through very similar emotions to, not to the same extent, but like divorces and loss of whatever loss you might have. So you go through that grieving process. You get angry and you get frustrated and you question yourself and then you question the club and you might lay blame and all those things occur. But ultimately, you've got to sit back and say, the decisions are generally made by well-intentioned people who are on a committee who want the best for that football club, and they believe at that very moment that that decision is going to help that football club for the future. Now, whether it does or doesn't, I don't think you rarely ever see a decision made through malice or whatever. They just generally what is best for that group, and sometimes it might be player driven as well. You might find that the players are not responding all that well to the coach at that time, and that might also have an impact. But yeah, you certainly go through a lot of mixed response, and you've just got to then sit down and back yourself and say, well, what am I in it for? Believe in yourself as a coach, believe that you can coach, and then put yourself out there, and then other people have got to make that decision about whether they think you are the right person for their club.
Yeah, well, it's not the only coaching change we've had. Also, Don Vale making the change mid-season as well. You got any thoughts on that, or?
Well, that also is a surprising. It's more surprising that it's not Vale have been poor. They probably would prefer to have won some more games, just as every club that's sitting in that bottom half of the ladder thinks that. It's also surprising for him because it's his first year.
Yep.
So he's a first-year coach, and unless he has had a complete breakdown with the playing group, and I haven't heard anything about the situation, then that is a surprise that a first-year coach is gone after 10 rounds of footy.
Yeah, so some interesting mid-season moves across the EFL. I'm sure there'll be a couple more we shall see in the coming weeks, but as we get closer to finals, that can affect your team, particularly the chemistry as well.
Oh, definitely, and you'll look at situations where, so you look at Montrose, for example, who are, I think they're probably 2 or 3 games away from relegation. They'll still be looking at being in a situation of being positive until they can for the future. And maybe Nuttawading were looking at that. Maybe they thought they might win a few more games with some of the other teams around them, but having won 2 after not winning
for 4 years
is a tremendous effort anyway.
Absolutely. So as we wait Sylvan coach Trent Martin to join us, we might start breaking down the fixtures across the 5 divisions of the Eastern Football League. 22 games on offer, full slate here in round 12 of the Eastern Football League. We start with Premier Division, Blackburn taking on South Croydon. South Croydon with a pretty impressive victory over Roval last week, and your thoughts on these guys?
Oh, this is the match of the round, without a doubt. Maybe even the match of the all 4 divisions, I would think. You got Blackburn coming off a very good win against Balwyn. You got South Croydon coming off a fantastic win against Roval. And South Croydon, again, they're in that situation where they need to probably win again today to push themselves into that top division, which they need to be in. But Blackburn, great win against Balwyn. I'm tipping Blackburn, but purely because I think it's at home and they still have to fight to remain in that top 4.
Yeah, I agree with you, Davo. Blackburn, for mine, they're just a formidable force at the moment, but we can't understate the importance of this clash for South Croydon. They're clinging to that 5th spot, and they've got Noble Park in 6th and Norwood in 7th position. Norwood are making somewhat of a second half of the year charge, of course, with Tom Boyd signing as well, which frees up Lee Williams and Sutherland in the ruck as well. So there's going to be a lot of interest around that as to how Norwood can best make use of that. But that 5th position for mine is up for grabs, and South Croydon simply have to win today to create a bit of breathing space.
And second game in Premier Division, Roval hosting Doncaster held scoreless last week. And Roval, been the smoky up until, well, it was only one loss there to South Croydon, who had regained some form. So interesting clash, this one.
Yeah, I think Roeville will certainly want to rebound after last week. Doncaster, we've already spoken about them a number of times. We just can't work out what's actually gone wrong, whether it's been injuries or form or whatever it may have been, but they just certainly haven't been the team that they were last year. And you're right, they've kicked 11 points last week, which is unacceptable for a Premier Division team. Roeville will win this.
Yeah, I should say, sorry, goalless, not scoreless. That's not doing them justice. Sorry, DC?
Just a question without notice, Davo. Do you think that top four in Premier Division's more or less set? Not so much in the order, but there's 2 games clear now separating Roeville in 4th position and South Croydon in 5th. There's 2 games there, and there's that gridlock in between 2nd, 3rd and 4th. They're all on 8 wins and 3 losses. Can you see it changing up?
No, and the reason being is that's why this game's so important today with South Croydon. If they lose, then it's 3 games, because our next game that we look at is Noble Park Norwood, and they're playing each other.
Indeed it is.
So suddenly you increase the gap on another team. So, Blackburn win today, I think it's top 4, and then that 5th one comes down to whether those clubs start playing each other like they are today, and who knows what will happen. But I think the top 4 will be signed, sealed and delivered after today.
Noble Park with 2 wins on the trot, taking on a resurgent Norwood with the inclusion of Tom Boyd, kicked 2 goals on debut last week.
Yeah, they look dangerous, but don't just think it's because of Tom Boyd. It's because of the fact that while he is certainly a quality footballer, it's his ability to release others, which is the impact that he will have. We've got to look at the fact that it's his 2nd game up. So the first one, you generally come out, you've got that you're pumped and what have you, and then you might drop away after that one. I'm going to go for Noble Park at Noble Park today. They've really impressed me this year with their ability to win the games that I didn't think they could, and I think they might get up and hang on to that slight chance of still being in that 5th spot.
Yeah, real toss of the coin this one for me. I'm going to go Norwood but I don't have a lot of confidence in my tip.
All right, well, we might just cut it short there as we're joined by the playing coach of the Sylvan Footy Club, Trent Martin. Trent, thanks for joining us. Coming off a win last week over Fair Park, how's the team travelling and what's the team feeling like at the moment?
Thanks for having me on again, boys. Yeah, we're up and about. Obviously, to beat Fair Park was a huge effort, but you come here, it's a bit of a different game. It's looking at the size of this oval compared to our ovals and the other ovals in the comp, you can nearly turn Silvan sideways and play across it. So we'll have to make a few adjustments. We've got a few young kids with a bit of pace in the side, so that always helps us older boys out there. So now look, it's always a good hit out here, so can't wait to get out there.
So speaking of the kids, Matteo D'Alfonso not lining up tonight. I've been pretty impressed with the way he's been playing in between the 19s and the senior teams here.
Yeah, absolutely. He's come with a big rep. He's a good little Italian boy, which they love up there at Sylvan. So he's huge. He's won back-to-back league medals in the under-17s at St Simon's. Won our BNF off 6 games in the 19s last year. Got best on ground here last year to play, but he had a hernia operation, so he's just missed a couple of games of that. Yep. That bye that we had, the dual byes we had, helped. So he's ready to go.
Yeah, Trent, we were talking previously about the fact that this size of this ground and you playing on a little bit smaller ground than this one, and the fact that Coldstream do like to run and spread. One of their factors is running and spread. Is that an area where you're really focused on the fact that today it's all about winning the contest and not allowing that ball to get outside?
Absolutely. They've got a lot of pace. They've got a lot of silk in their side in Carrigan. Obviously, the medalist from last year looks like Shield's out, so that's probably going to help us. But I guess that's what we brought the kids in because that outside run's something we need. We can build a side around about winning at Sylvan and Nunna Whiting and Forest Hill, but you come out here or go to East Burwood, it's a bit of a different beast. So we've made some changes, and we're more than confident with what we've got in. So.
And I suppose the other thing is the fact that your spine's very good. You've got some really good overhead marking ability within your spine. So on a ground like today, sometimes when it's so big, people tend to get lost in thinking that because it's big, you've got lots of space. But if you do place down the middle and through the spine area, which is your strength, you're still going to be very, very hard to beat here.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess our spine's our experience. So obviously myself, Giorgio, Begley up forward, Greg Smith. So our spine's our experience. And but in saying that, I know Chad Rogers pretty well, and I don't think he's going to let Trent and I sit behind the footy like we've probably tried to in the past. So we'll have to make some adjustments to that because as much as I'd like Chad to let us, I don't think he will today.
How was the week on the training track after last week's game against Fair Park? It's always a tough game against Fair Park. They love to crack in. They are second on the ladder. It was played in heavy conditions. How was the training loads? Did you manage that during the week in the lead up to this?
Absolutely. We went to the pools. We sort of, I realised that it's pretty hard to this time of year up at Sylvan. It's cold and wet, probably no different out here. So the Tuesdays we've altered a bit, and we've just go to different places and keep the boys fresh. And we hit the pools Tuesday, came out, and the boys are ready to go. So yeah, definitely had to refresh after Fair Park, but it's a beautiful day to be playing out there today, that's for sure.
You touched on Trent Giorgio before, who's crossed over from Murrelbach. How have you seen his season this year? I'm really looking forward to watching him play for you guys today. He was an absolute gun at Murrelbach.
To be fair, we sort of tried something that didn't work and persisted with obviously him playing forward. So there are times where he goes forward and we can pinch hit and kick goals. But I played a lot against Trent as a centre-half back, where we both played similar positions and opposing each other. So I knew that if that didn't work, he could go back. It sort of didn't work early. He's gone back and he's probably been our best player. So
he's probably one of the best swing men around, going around and playing in this division. His ability with his that left foot, which the ball never seems to stop when it comes off his boot. It's unbelievable. What I was going to ask, back-to-back contests against quality opposition, when in the year that sometimes doesn't happen as much as you'd like, it's a real bonus and a real positive going into finals to be able to do this sort of stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I suppose the thing, if we do manage to make the finals, we've got a couple of teams down the bottom at the end of the year, so we've just got to sort of test ourselves against these sides, and then, there's no one, I guess, we just deal with what we're given, and back-to-back it isn't, it's probably good because we came out thinking we had a good pre-season, we had a good list, we've got a few injuries, and then obviously didn't get the start of the season we wanted, so it was a good reality check we probably needed. But the second half of the year we got some personnel back, and we're more than confident in what we can produce against the top sides.
All right, Trent, we'll let you go get ready for the big game this afternoon. Good luck to the boys and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thanks, boys. Thanks for having me.
No worries. That's Trent Martin, playing coach of the Sylvan Footy Club. We'll take a short break here on SEN 1377. It's EFL Game Day from Coldstream.
The award-winning Crunch Time.
Clear 4 minutes.
On 11:16 SEN, Waitley.
But then to smile and laugh. It's like, well, hang on. If you can't punch in a gut, then why can you all of a sudden punch an arm?
The biggest names in sport.
There's still in the back of your mind, you're thinking, geez, the World Cup's not far away, and as a captain of the side, I could be left out of the World Cup squad.
Talk to Waitley.
I don't know what Gillan McLaughlin's about to apologise for.
Waitley.
I stuffed up a holding the ball decision with Trent Cotchin. I didn't think he'd had a prior opportunity, but I look back, he's definitely had a prior.
On 11:16 SEN.
You've all been to funerals of family members or friends, right? Do you start thinking about what you would want at your funeral? It's a bit like when you go to a wedding.
Yeah, that's right.
At what stage do you start planning?
Have an open and honest conversation with your loved ones. Celebrate your life the way you want, like I did with a fixed price funeral plan from Tobin Brothers Funerals. The price doesn't change and your life will be celebrated your way. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
The senior coach has taken the team to Eastland for a post-game feed. If only they had this kind of teamwork on the field. They've just ordered starters to share, plus frothies for the whole table. And now Steve-O's chucked a prawn to Macca. He circled back. Yes! Straight into his pie hole. Yo, beauty! Good form, boys. For all of life and footy's little moments, there's Eastland. Proud sponsors of the EFL. Eastland. Live real.
Hello, I'm Peter Hitchener. 9 News invites you to join our team nightly at 6 for Melbourne's #1 news. Tony Jones with the latest sport, including the footy, plus Lavinia Nixon's weather forecast. 9 News, proud supporter of the Eastern Football.
Guys, are we going to do Clint Stanaway at half-time again?
Now, combine the two. And enter to be a part of Mechanics Day at Marvel Stadium. Thanks to Penrite Oil, Bendix Brakes and Ryco Filters. Mechanics, register now for your chance to win tickets for you and a workmate to the Bulldogs Demons game at Marvel Stadium Sunday, July 14. Enter now, iCanWin.com.au. And don't worry, there'll be plenty of food and beverages under the bonnet. Mechanics Day. Enter now, iCanWin.com.au.
Hello. The biggest selling tile in Australia is 600 by 300 gloss white. And National Tiles is by far the biggest seller of these tiles in Australia. Why? It's simple. The average selling price is over $20 per metre, and National Tiles price is just $9.95 every day of the year. That's just one example of National Tiles' absolutely unbeatable everyday low prices on wall and floor tiles. So rush into National Tiles now and save.
From where you are to the game. From the game back to where you were. Get there with Scooty. Melbourne's first motor scooter rideshare service is here. More nimble, more affordable. Scooty is the new, safe, greener, easier way to zip your way through inner city peak hour.
Hello.
Download the Scooty app.
Yep. Are we going to do Clint Stanaway at half time today?
Don't know. I'll find out. Get back to you.
So yeah, that'd be.
Makes it time to head to Robot Building Supplies because Robot's got it.
Yeah, we are doing Stanaway at half time.
Roofing and more.
Oh, thanks.
Pori Roof Sheeting Zinc in stock at $8.90 per metre. Colour also available, custom cut. Save time and money with Robot. Notting Hill, Sunshine, Preston, Dramana, Pakenham, Coldstream and Darnham. Call 1300 GO ROBOT or robotbuildingsupplies.com.au.
ROBOT Robot Building Supplies.
Impress clients, friends and colleagues with a premium experience at the MCG. Whether it's your own private suite or a table in a premium space, enjoy
10 seconds.
At Melbourne's biggest sporting events. mcg.org.au/premium.
Australia v South Africa live tonight on SEN.
Okay, here we go. Putting your mics back on now.
And you're listening to 1377 SEN Plus. This is EFL Game Day live from the Yarra Valley. It's Coldstream taking on Sylvan Division 4 action as you go local for your footy this afternoon. 22 games on offer across the Eastern Football League. And we've just heard from both of the coaches, Chad Rogers from Coldstream and Trent Martin, playing coach of Sylvan. So don't forget, folks, we'll be here all the way through this afternoon. 2 o'clock, we'll be bringing you all the action between Sylvan and Coldstream. And 5 o'clock, join Damien Watson here on SEN 1377 for the EFL postgame show. We'll bring you all the scores and results and around the grounds reports from across the Eastern Football League. And tomorrow, don't forget, 10 o'clock on SEN 1377, EFL Sunday hosted by BWS and the crew. They'll be taking you through all the scores, results and interviews with the winning coaches 10 till 12 tomorrow morning. And also don't forget, EFL Insight award-winning podcast should come out Thursday, featuring the Pro Toby Prime's Prime Cuts and our very favourite segment, Where Are They Now? And I'm sure Daniel Sensic will give us a hint later on as to who is the guest this week.
Yeah, I'm sure we can tee up another ripper this week. They've been fantastic, haven't they?
Absolutely. So we got about halfway through Premier Division in terms of the other 21 games on offer across the Eastern Football League. Balwyn and North Ringwood.
Yeah, Balwyn will be smarting after their defeat to Blackburn last week. And while I'm sure North Ringwood will certainly perform a little bit better than they have recently, I think at Balwyn they're going to be far too good.
Yeah, Balwyn for mine now, far too good. They've got, as I mentioned before, they're in that the second on the ladder. They've hardly missed a beat since we've seen them on Good Friday, and also that on the Queen's birthday weekend as well. They were good. So yeah, they're a case by how far today, I think.
And the final game in Premier Division, Montrose hosting Vermont, who held Doncaster goalless last week. Montrose still without a win.
Yeah, and look, and they'll still be without a win at the end of today as well. I think Vermont will come out and do what Vermont do well, and they win the games they have to win, and they'll win them the way they want to win them. Montrose have been, as we said, one of the better teams that have not won a game all year, but they're going to struggle against a very powerful Vermont outfit.
Agreed, Vermont comfortably.
Okay, moving on to Division 1 and the closest division across the Eastern Football League. Lilydale with a bounce-back win over Park Orchards last week, snapping a 5-game losing skid, taking on East Ringwood.
Yeah, this will be a tough game, but I think Lilydale will probably get up over East Ringwood. East Ringwood have just been one of those clubs that just can't seem to get a win at the moment, and they need to start getting a couple because they're fighting out that relegation position with Knox and Murrelbach. So I can't see them getting up over Lilydale today.
Yeah, I agree. Lilydale last week, as we mentioned, snapping a 5-game losing streak. I know Ben Neagle on EFL Sunday spoke about the victory last week, that he noticed those inconsistencies amongst the team, and even when they were getting away with those close games early on in the season, they still weren't playing at their best level that we know they're capable of. But who knows? Maybe they've hit their straps now, and it'll be smooth sailing from here on in for Lilydale. But I think they'll be too strong today for the Roos.
And that one at the LSO, just down the road here. Moving on, Knox, who haven't won since round 8 over Croydon, taking on Bayswater, who are quietly going about their business pretty successfully in Division 1, sitting in 3rd right now.
I think you've summed it up really well, though. Bayswater going along really consistently at the moment. I think today, even though Knox will really test them at Knox, I think Bayswater will be too good and get up.
Bayswater are a side in Division 1 that we haven't really spoken a lot about. Given the fact that there's 2 sides above them, Doncaster East, who've hardly missed a beat, Croydon, who have been the big improver of Division 1 this year, and then there's Bayswater in 3rd position that I suppose have flown under the radar, but they're going about it very nicely. Congratulations, of course, to Mitch Galvin as well, who plays game number 150 today as well. So what a contribution the Galvin family have made to the Bayswater Football Club over a long period of time.
Oh, absolutely sensational, and couldn't find a nicer group of people as well. They're really good Bayswater people, but really good EFL people as well. So congratulations, 150th, and they'll probably sing the song afterwards pretty loud for him.
And moving on, Croydon, who were very impressive in the wet against Doncaster East last week in our radio game, taking on Park Orchards, coming off the loss to Lilydale.
I see this is a danger game for Park Orchard, for Croydon. I think Croydon will win it, but Park Orchards have proven that they can play some really good football, and they're not far away from another win. But I think Croydon showed last week that they've got the arsenal all over the ground, that they're able to play controlled tempo football. Their transition football is extremely good, and they've got great focus up forward now with their talls and smalls. They'll be too good today.
We can't underestimate the confidence Croydon would have taken out of last week's victory against ladder leader Doncaster East. We spoke to Justin Ficcarelli during the week on EFL Insight, and he spoke of just that, the morale around the club and the mood around the club, that a win like that can lift the team in the middle of winter. So they're going to be very hard to stop today, the Blues, but I'm going to back them.
And moving on, Upper Ferntree Gully have won 3 of their last 4, including last week over East Ringwood, taking on Wanturna South, who started the season really strongly, had a couple of injuries, and now have hit the skids.
Yeah, I think you've summed it up well again, Steve. I think Upper Gully will be too strong out at Kings Park, and Wanturna South on a bit of a slide at the moment. Losing Williams has really hurt them, and while they're not a one-man team, he's certainly a big cog in that machine. So I think they'll struggle today, and Upper Gully have been pretty impressive.
What are we calling this one? The Luke Galliot Cup? Upper Gully, Wanturna South. But you look at Wanturna South last week against Bayswater, they put through 2 goals. That's disappointing on any day, I think, regardless of the conditions. They're going to be without Luke Williams for a while now, as you mentioned, Davo. He was their focal point up forward. They were playing him in the forward line because they do lack that key target down there. I think the Upper Gully are going to make it very tough for Wanturna South, and they'll celebrate their 1,000th EFL match today, the Kings in style.
And the final game in Division 1, Doncaster East, only their 2nd loss of the season last week against, as we talked about, a very impressive Croydon at home at Zerby's, to a very much improved Murrelbach, who've won 4 of their last 5.
Yeah, Murrelbach are nearly one of the form sides in the competition at the moment, and you're right, Donny East will be smarting after last week. It's not like they got thrashed, but they'll be smarting after the fact that really they would be honest and say that they weren't in the game much at all, even though, apart from on the scoreboard last week. I thought they were dominated for the majority of the game by Croydon. They get back a few key personnel, which will certainly help them. And at home, they'll probably be too good for Murrelbach, but expect Murrelbach to really throw something at them. I am expecting this to be a really close game.
Yeah, it's another test for Murrelbach after, I suppose, the charge they've made this season after a certain point in time, after that Wanturna South draw, that they can test themselves against the best in the competition. But as you mentioned, Davo, it's you don't want to be the team playing the ladder leader after a loss, that's for sure. And they'll be fired up for this one, the Lions. I'm going to back them.
As we move on to Division 2 in round 12, the Basin taking on Mitcham, who were pushed all the way by Mulgrave last week.
Yeah, and I think that was last week was one of those classic rounds where conditions had a real impact on results. Very difficult conditions, hard to get big scores going, and also really easy to have lots of contested football, and therefore scores were a lot closer. I'm expecting Mitcham to win this, even though it's at the Basin, and continue their rise to stay on the top of the ladder.
I've got to give the Bears a chance here because I shot my mouth off on the podcast during the week and
sure did.
And put the Basin in as my roughie. I'm giving them a chance today, but Mitcham, they're going to be tough to beat. They've jostled with Ringwood in the last couple of weeks for that top position on the ladder, and Mitcham might want to give Ringwood any other reason to go further ahead.
And moving on to game number 2, Mulgrave, as we talked about, lost by only 5 points to Mitcham last weekend. They host Ringwood, the form side, coming off a loss to Baronia last week.
Yeah, and Ringwood will be smarting after that loss, even though it wasn't a big loss. And I think they'll be too good for Mulgrave.
Yeah, Ringwood for mine.
And Baronia, as we just mentioned, defeat of ladder leaders Ringwood last weekend, and Scoresby notching their first week a win over Heathmont last week.
Yeah, I watched that Scoresby Heathmont game on the TV, on the replays, and Scoresby were excellent. They were able to use their strengths at that ground, which is their ability in and under. They were able to transition the ball beautifully up into the forward line, and they had some dangerous players who were able to kick goals consistently last week. So they're certainly going to trouble Baronia. They like playing at Baronia, and they've actually been reasonably successful there over the last couple of years. But I think Baronia, after their big win against Ringwood, will come out knowing that they've got to win this game, and I think they'll win it, but I reckon it'll be pretty tight.
It's going to be interesting to see if Baronia's win last week over Ringwood it does serve as somewhat of a turning point in the season, like a switch being flicked, because we know they've been consistently inconsistent this year with a run of, say, 2 losses or 2 wins, or 1 loss, 1 win on either side. But it's going to be interesting. Scoresby, I think they kicked 6 goals in a row at one point last week against Heathmont. So they'll be red hot leading into this one. Danger game for Baronia, but I think the Hawks just.
And the final game in Division 2 this afternoon, Templestowe won 3 of their last 5, taking on Heathmont, who have posted a couple of back-to-back losses, including that shock loss to Scoresby last weekend.
Yeah, that was a real surprise, especially after they played a really good game against Mitcham, the radio game we had with it was a great game of football out there at the hangar. This is a danger game for Templestowe, and it's also a defining game for Heathmont, because if they lose this game, they're going to start losing touch with that force. So at Templestowe, I think Templestowe are going to be too strong, because I think they also need to make sure that they win this game. So Templestowe for mine.
Yeah, it's a real crunch game for Heathmont. They've dropped 2 in a row now after they went on a bit of a run there. Templestowe, though, they're not going to be any pushover. They've now got a game clear in front of Heathmont on the ladder, sitting 3rd beautifully there. But I think Heathmont, they're going to push the Dockers today, but I think the Dockers will get up just.
Okay, moving on to Division 3. Waverley Blues, one of Gav Casey's 8 teams, hosting Ferntree Gully. Waverley Blues playing some good footy with a young squad, and Ferntree Gully coming off 3 wins in a row.
Yeah, look, Ferntree Gully have certainly rebounded after their very, very disappointing performance against South Belgrave a number of weeks ago. Waverley Blues, I've been really impressed with them too. I really like the way they've gone about playing their footy. They've got a lot of youth. They run, they carry, they spread. They've got a lot of avenues up there. They are really going to test Ferntree Gully today at Waverley. It's a toss of the coin for me. I'm going to go with Ferntree Gully purely because I know that they still want to maintain that second position on the ladder.
Well, this is the second in a series of testing games for the Waverley Blues in a matter of weeks. So I saw them play last week, the Blues, and they were great in the wet conditions. It rained for all but probably 10 minutes of that match, and the way they were able to use the footy around the ground, is particularly going forward, Davo, you touched on their avenues up forward that they've got, the Waverley Blues. Tall targets in Tabernar and O'Connell, and around the ground as well. Tom Miles coming back into that side has done great things for the Waverley Blues, and Daniel Playstead in the ruck, who can rest forward and gives the Blues players, midfielders, a lot of first use around the ground. Ferntree Gully are going to find it hard going based on that, and the confidence that the Blues got out of last week can't be underestimated either. But gee, Ferntree Gully, if they want it, they've staked a claim for that second position a lot this year. We know they've had struggles against ladder leader South Belgrave, so it's got a real toss of the coin game, this one. Based on what I saw last week from the Waverley Blues, I'm going to go the Blues.
Okay, moving on to our second game. Don Vale, as we mentioned, with the coaching change earlier, and coming off only 2 wins in their last 5, including a loss last week to Ferntree Gully, taking on South Belgrave for the Kings so far of Division 3.
Look, South Belgrave will win this game. These are the danger ones for South Belgrave, these sorts of games, because they build themselves up for a number of games. It's hard to win every game in the season, but I actually can't see anyone beating them. And Dombale, while they've got some great forward options, they're obviously just not winning enough of the contests and winning enough ball to be able to get it down to those forwards. And we know what South Belgrave are like when they in the middle, their ability to transition the footy quickly, and they've got such dangerous forwards. They're going to win, and I think they might have a big win today.
Yeah, I struggle to see a weak link in that South Belgrave side based on their form and their just comprehensive smashings of sides this season. So, yeah, it's a lay down misère for mine.
And Warrandyte, team you saw last week, Dan, taking on the winless Chirnside Park, who came close against the Glen Waverley Hawks last week.
Yeah, look, Chirnside Park will certainly be buoyed by that. They may have wished that it was a wet day today so that they have another opportunity. But Warrandyte, they'll look. The thing about Warrandyte that I've noticed, they make a lot of changes every week. I reckon there's 3, 4 or 5 changes every single week, so that I'm not sure whether they're forced or what it is, but they just don't seem to be able to get that continuity with their group. They're going to win because it's a tough place to win at Warrandyte, even though Waverley Blues were able to do it last week. But I think Chirnside Park will certainly throw them some interesting plays today.
They laboured well last week, Warrandyte. What let them down against the Waverley Blues was their forward 50 entries. It was a dog's breakfast at times, and it took them till about the 19-minute mark of the final term to register a major, but they'll be pleased with the way they didn't give up. They trailed by 33 points at three-quarter time, and they put through 3 goals in the final quarter in heavy conditions when goals were fairly hard to come by at that point in time. So, yeah, look, if they're going to be playing anyone this week, it's a good week to rebound off a game that many thought they should have won last week.
And our final game in Division 3, Glen Waverley, with posting their 3rd win of the season last week over Chirnside, taking on Whitehorse, who've won 6 so far this year.
Yeah, Whitehorse have been a little bit of a quiet achiever, and they certainly let me know about the fact that I'd chosen for, I think, finishing out of the final situation. They've reminded me of my faults, I suppose, over a number of weeks. Glen Waverley Hawks have been the big disappointment for me in this division. I thought they would be a little bit better, a little bit stronger than what they have been. I think they've lost too many quality players out of their group, and I think they've got a couple of key players out today as well. So I think Whitehorse will go along their merry way and have another win.
People are always keen to pick out when you may be wrong, but they never pick out when you're right, and that's what I've noticed as well over the journey. But I think the Whitehorse Pioneers, for mine, they've gone along nicely. You're right, Davo. The Glen Waverley Hawks, they've lost a lot of key players, and it's when you look at both sides anyway playing each other today, it's 2 vastly different lineups to the 2 that ran out onto Walker Park Mitcham last September.
Oh, and that's why, I mean, Whitehorse lost probably 8 of their grand final side at the start of the year, and they weren't just, not that you have too many fringe players in a grand final side, but they were key players in their team, and they didn't seem to have recruited enormously. So what they've been able to do is very, very admirable in bringing their kids through. They've had a lot of good kids that they've brought through, and they're working really well together. They're understanding the game plan, and they're working very, very well. They have a great ground that they can use as their home ground. It's a tough ground to play on. Glen Waverley, Look, they've also lost a number of key players, but they just don't seem to have been able to put any sort of continuity through that. They just haven't been able to win games on end or even be in the contest. They get out of contests very early on in games. So, as I say, I'm expecting Whitehorse to win this one.
So we move on to Division 4. Just a couple of minutes left here on the pre-game show. Coldstream versus Sylvan, obviously our radio game from 2 o'clock this afternoon. Forest Hill and Nunawading.
Look, this will be an interesting game. Forest Hill have still got a sniff for finals. So while they've got that sniff, they're going to want to make sure that Justin will want them to finish the year off well and win as many games as they can. And this is a game that they have to win. Nunawading have been probably lost a little bit of their competitiveness over the last couple of weeks. Last week you saw Coldstream 49 shots at goal. That's a lot of shots at goal in a game of football. It could have been an absolute shellacking. So I think Forest Hill will come up with the win today.
They've got to make every post a winner from here on in, the Zebras. We've heard Justin Cicluna talk on EFL Sunday about the fact that they do have the bye in the last round, and that could very well determine whether or not they play finals or not. So these sorts of games are crucial, and particularly they'll see this as an opportunity to boost percentage.
And Kilsyth hosting East Burwood out of Pinks Reserve.
Look, this is an opportunity for East Burwood to just continue to work through what they need to do, put into practice some of the things that they know are good. Kilsyth got a couple of key players out in Jackson and a few others. So, I can't see them getting up over East Burwood today.
Rams for mine as well.
And our final game of the round, Surrey Park taking on Fair Park, who were upset by Sylvan last week, many would think.
Well, this is the second most important game of the all the four divisions, I believe. Surrey Park, Fair Park. It's an opportunity for Surrey Park to see whether they really are up to playing finals this year. Fair Park coming off a loss, even though they got very close. They played 3 very poor quarters of footy, then managed to play a great last quarter of footy and nearly pinched the game against Sylvan. They'll certainly want to bounce back. They've got a few players back into their group, but I think they might be fractionally too strong for Surrey Park at Surrey.
Lions for me as
30.
well.
Dan Senzik, Brett Davidson, thanks very much for your contributions on the EFL pre-game show. I'm Steve White. We'll be bringing you all the action from Sylvan versus Coldstream from 2 o'clock right after this break. You've been listening to EFL Game Day here on SEN 1377.
4 minutes 30.
SEN Footy streaming live and exclusively on the all-new SEN app.
Get 40% off bonds at Myer. Yes, 40% off bonds at Myer. Ends this Sunday. Exclusions and conditions apply. See in-store and online for details.
Australia v South Africa live tonight on SEN.
The only thing I would think about is who I'd be buried next to. I mean, that would matter to me.
Well, that's pre-planning because you'll need to get the plots next to each other.
Yeah, that's true. They're good conversations to have, aren't they? Because they give you a reference point if you've had no clear instruction or conversation.
Have an open and honest conversation. Celebrate your life the way you want, like I did, with a fixed price funeral plan from Tobin Brothers Funerals. The price doesn't change and your life will be celebrated your way. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Hello, I'm Peter Hitchener. 9 News invites you to join our team nightly at 6 for Melbourne's #1 news. Tony Jones with the latest sport, including the footy, plus Lavinia Nixon's weather forecast. 9 News, proud supporter of the Eastern Football League.
Wouldn't it be nice to have a robot at home to mow your lawn and wash the car? At least you've got robot building supplies at work. Steel, sleepers, wire mesh, timber, roofing and more. Robots got it at the lowest prices, like square and round tubing in Prime and Gal. Starting from $14.70 for 20 by 20 by 1.6 Prime tube 6.5 metres long. Robot, Notting Hill, Sunshine, Preston, Dramana, Pakenham, Coldstream and Darnham. Call 1300-GO-ROBOT or order at robotbuildingsupplies.com.au.
ROBOT, Robot Building Supplies.
Do you hold a current full Victorian motorcycle or scooter licence and want to earn some extra cash? Scooty! Melbourne's new 2-wheel taxi service is here. And right now, Scooty is looking for motor scooter drivers to beat Melbourne's traffic congestion and get people to the game, the gig or the meeting. Sign up at scooty.com.au today and turn your motor scooter into a money-making machine. Scooty. Delivering people.
Hello. Concrete Fusion is the very latest range of 2019 National Floor tiles to take the market by storm. And National Tiles have gatecrashed the market on this all-new range of $40 floor tiles at an unbeatable $19.95. Yes, that's right. The all-new $40 Concrete Fusion National Floor tiles at an introductory price of just $19.95 per metre. Available in-store now or shop online 24/7 at nationaltiles.com.au.
Do you love the sound of this? What about this? Now, combine the two. And enter to be a part of Mechanics Day at Marvel Stadium. Thanks to Penrite Oil, Bendix Brakes and Ryco Filters. Mechanics, register now for your chance to win tickets for you and a workmate to the Bulldogs Demons game at Marvel Stadium Sunday, July 14. Enter now, icanwin.com.au. And don't worry, there'll be plenty of food and beverages under the bonnet. Mechanics Day. Enter now, icanwin.com.au.
Stock up on soup, pull out your woolly footy scarf and suspend your gym membership. Now you're all set to survive the chilly season. It's time to get the whole house prepped by hooking up your cooking, hot water and heat with natural gas. Getting gas in every room is easy, and with our rebates it's often free. So grab your hot chockey, settle into your cosy cocoon and love winter. Search Australian gas networks to find out how much you could save.
Driving you home, it's KB in the dock.
Now, you two going to be on your best behaviour today? Your head's
30 seconds. Don't forget to welcome the Eastern FM listeners.
You know, people have to look at you when they come in here. It's not pleasant. At least have a shave. Your body still functions. I'm not sure your head's alive still.
Foray Gutters, Australian made, built to last. And On Deck, small business loans approved in hours. Apply now, ondeck.com.au. KB in the dock, back Monday from 3.
The award-winning Crunch Time this morning from 11 on SEN.
It's time for the match of the round.
All right, here we go, guys. Stand by. Put your mics on now. Go for it. Hello, anybody there? Go.
Welcome back out to Coldstream Reserve out here. It's EFL game day and it's a sun-drenched Coldstream suburb today, and it's a little bit out of the ordinary for when we've come down here in the past, and we're pretty excited. The sunglasses are on, the hats are on, and there is not a car park left in the joint. There is cars being parked on nature strips of houses and all the like outside. It was quite difficult for myself to even snag one, but driving a little nerdy Mazda 2, I was able to slip in somewhere. My name is Ben Warren Smith. Great pre-match show done by the guys, hosted by Steve White, who'll be around the grounds this afternoon. And we're a small ensemble team today, but we're the experts. We're the A-team, we're going to call ourselves, and we've got Brett Davidson in special comments. Good afternoon to you again, Brett Davidson.
Good afternoon, Ben. I like the word ensemble. There we go. We're a small ensemble. It's it's like the string quartet before the Bruce Springsteen show, isn't it? So yeah, looking forward to this game, and we've spoken to both coaches, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see the contrast between both styles of play, and that's what I'm looking forward to.
And of course, the riding shotgun today in the co-commentator's chair is the media manager of the Eastern Football League. Great to be calling alongside this man again. Good afternoon to you, Dan Sansik.
Yeah, always a pleasure to call alongside you, BWS, and really looking forward to watching Sylvan in action. It's been a long time since I've seen them play personally. We saw Coldstream play earlier on in the season when they played against East Burwood out there at East Burwood, and they'll be looking forward to pitting themselves against one of the informed sides of Division 4, as will Sylvan. It's a huge test for them today, coming up against Coldstream, who sit in third place.
Of course, Sylvan wearing the away strip today, which is the Geelong hoop style jumper, just to probably make it easier for the fans, and not only us here on the commentary team as well. Both jumpers very similar in colours and shades, but they'll be wearing the Geelong style jumper today. It's a huge ground out here, isn't isn't it, out at Coldstream? It's absolutely massive, and it's actually in good nick as well.
Oh, it's been magnificent. Great condition here. And yes, we were talking off air before about the fact that over the years this has been an interesting ground where before they had the fence around the ground, it had the old never-ending boundary on the one side of the ground where you'd see the ball go there and you'd think, right, it's just about out of bounds, and then someone would kick it 20 metres further out and they'd still be in play. So it's a huge ground, massive ground, which for a lot of people you think, oh, you're going to have lots of space. But again, it's one of those things you can run to negative space. And I think we'll be interested to see how Coldstream use it and also see how Sylvan are able to adapt to it.
It's one of the very few legitimate 50-metre arcs as well in the Eastern Football League too. When we often call games, it's usually 30 or 40 metres and we say they're 50 out. But this, you can't make a mistake here.
Milestone game for the skipper of Coldstream, Darcy Carrigan, today, running through the banner there. And, well, I tell you what, if the reserve scoreline is anything to go by, we might be in for a cracker today. Coldstream getting up over Sylvan by one solitary point there in the Rezzies.
And that was a kick with about, I reckon, 30 seconds left to go in the game to hit the front for the first time in the game. So a nice way to win a game of football, to say that you've actually kicked the winning goal in a game of footy. It doesn't happen often. So the young Coldstream boy will be very, very chuffed tonight.
Where do we see this game going? I know we've talked about it in bits and pieces over the last hour of pre-match right here on SEN Plus 1377. And, of course, stay with us right through till 6 o'clock today. 22 great games as you go local for your football. Sylvan play on a small deck. Coldstream, this is their home deck. It's absolutely massive. Sylvan taking it up against Fair Park last week in what was probably an upset victory, but their form's been really good, Sylvan. It feels like they've been building over about 5 or 6 weeks now, and this is a challenge that they'll be absolutely ready for, whereas Coldstream, they've been, I suppose, they've sort of sat in this same position for most of the season now as well. They don't want to become complacent. They know that the Cats are coming in here to challenge today.
Definitely, and I think the one thing for Coldstream was their win a couple of weeks ago against Surrey Park, where they got over the line by a point. For me, it's going to be Carrigan is an absolute number one key today. The ability for him to be able to get out wide and use his pace and his ability to use the football is going to be crucial. If he's able to do that, Coldstream are well on the way to being able to win the game of football. Whereas when you look at Sylvan, they're going to rely very heavily on the fact that they've got, as we talked to Trent Martin, their coach, their spine is really experienced and very, very good. If Giorgio can get off the leash across that half-back line, then he'll give them plenty of service in their forward half. So that's where I see the game being played. I was originally going for Coldstream, but I've looked at Sylvan. I've looked at the fact that they've got some young kids, which will help them with their run. I think they may have too many big targets to be able to get over the line today. So I'm tipping Sylvan in a very, very tight game.
Okay, a bit of an upset there for Brett Davidson, our number one special comments man right throughout 2019. Speaking of special comments, a big shout out to Wayne Brasher, one of the all-time favourites of the media team and also the EFL community, whose old man, John Jack Brasher, passed away yesterday. So condolences to the Brasher family. Brash, I know you're listening in, so we're all thinking about you, mate. And a stalwart down there at the Vermont Football Club, your old man Jack, who'll be sorely missed, and we hope that the Vermont side can get up today and salute Jack as well.
Yeah, look, I send my condolences to Brash, a wonderful man, known Brash for over 30 years, with the fact that he was a player at Vermont when I was down at the club, and one of the great personalities within the AFL community, and we certainly send our thoughts and condolences to him, and I know he'll be watching the game of footy, I would imagine, because that's who he is, and I'm sure he'll be listening to us and hoping that Vermont could get up and have a big win as well.
Absolutely, he'll be listening and watching, and he'll be back on EFL Sunday tomorrow morning because he is an absolute superstar. There's no doubt about that. Dan Sensic as the skippers in the middle of the ground. They go for the toss now. It's Carrigan versus Sean Jones. Jones wins it. He'll be kicking to the right of your radio dial, right of screen. So, which means that the Coldstream Football Club are kicking to the Maroondah Highway end, if that makes sense, or towards the jam donut stand that I saw on the highway on the way through. I almost stopped to get a dozen, Dave. I knew you would have been impressed with that, but I was just running out a bit of time.
Well, you probably wouldn't have been able to get them. I reckon I might have got the last 48. So, so yeah, no, it's certainly it's great. A great crowd here, isn't it?
It's huge.
I know we can't see a lot of them because of where our van is, but looking around it, as you said, all the car parks are gone, and you can hear in the effects mic the crowd and the noise from the crowd. So really looking forward to a great game of footy.
Absolutely, and if you're in the crowd or in the car, make sure you get to the canteen. The best roast beef rolls in town are out here at Coldstream today, so make sure you wrap your chompers around those ones. Dan, your take on today's game, how do you see it panning out?
I think Coldstream have got the advantage leading into this one. They had a bit of a lay-down misère match against Nunawading last weekend, whereas Sylvan had to battle against Fair Park, particularly in heavy conditions up the mountain and hanging on there. So it's going to be interesting. Coldstream will definitely come in as the more rested side, but it's an opportunity for Coldstream to test themselves against the third best side in Division 4 this season.
Well, it's not too far away from getting underway out here at Coldstream, and it's just seeing some familiar faces out in the background there. Michael Gordon, the president of Doncaster East, is out there. Of course, son Dan playing out at Coldstream today, so spreading the love around between the different types of cats, the Cougars and the Lions, the Gordon family. But as players take their position, I'm going to tip the home side today, Coldstream. I know on EFL Insight Silvan was my upset, but given that I've come out here today, I've seen the crowd, I've seen the park. Do you know what? I've sort of switched it up a little bit. I'm going with the home side today to get home by 4 points. A very close game. Really looking forward to this one. SEN plus 1377 right throughout the afternoon. The players have made position. The EFL media manager, Dan Sensic, is going to take us underway for the first term right here on EFL Game Day.
So the umpire holds the ball aloft at the sun-drenched Coldstream Oval. Rucks go at it, and it's Sylvan with the first tap of the afternoon. They look to get the clearance, but the Cougars repel. They go inside forward 50, gathering at half forward. Long kick towards the top of the square. How will this one go? Beautiful mark taken. And the Cougars have got an opportunity to put through their first goal of the afternoon. Adam Dale timing that push off to perfection, and this would set them alight early on. He's been put right around on the angle, Adam Dale, so not too far out. Very deliberate approach as he comes in to kick for goal. So Dale wheels around, goes the banana, and makes no mistake. Coldstream draw first blood. They're 1 straight 6. Sylvan yet to score. Nearly 1 minute gone on the Eastland scoreboard.
So we spoke about the fact that the contest was going to be one or in the middle, whoever wins that. It was a scramble contest, but this is the key one for me. Who's going to go to Carrigan in that half-forward line?
Well, that was a beautiful inside 50 Carrigan did there.
Wasn't it? He just turned his player inside out. In fact, I got a funny feeling he's playing a Michael Bonfadini, and that's a huge ask on that young player. Carrigan, he is the key to this game.
So 1.5 minutes tick over on the Eastland scoreboard. It's the home side Coldstream. They lead by 1 straight kick. Clayton went up unopposed that time, but knocked it straight down the throat of his opposition ruckman as he comes out now towards the edge of the centre square. Quick kick forward now by Coldstream. Inside forward 50 out in front. Good jukes there by Wagner, and then takes off. He'll have a second shot at goal within a matter of minutes. He pushed it to the right-hand side. First blemish for the Cougars on the Eastland scoreboard. We've gone 2 minutes. They lead by 7.
And he had Carrigan on his inside. Yep. Then he should have given the handball to the left footer.
Yeah, they're getting slaughtered out of the middle very early on, the Cats, aren't they? So they bring the ball back into play, Sylvan. Of course, we mentioned they're wearing that Geelong Ben Graham era jumper. Roosting kick out towards the wing. And underneath that was Georgiou. He's wrapped up in the tackle. And we'll see a ball up. Witchell wrapped up in the tackle.
That was a huge kicker. I don't know who that was from.
Must have been my Ben Graham call that made that eventuate. But Schmidt dispossessed of the footy and free kick going the way of Coldstream. So they'll just wait for their best option now. The Cougars moved up towards half forward. Great mark taken back there though by Dietzel.
Whistle already, so he got a little gift there. Little chip over the top, that's okay. Baton Leach, the hyphen, right in front of the brethren, the Coldstream member stand. He'll weigh up his options now. Short passes on. So just using this grandstand side of the arena as the kick goes out towards Lockie Craig, the co-captain of the Coldstream Football Club, who kicked it up towards the half-forward line. He didn't give it everything he had, though, because Lockie Hampton was able to come across for Sylvan and take the mark across the half-back line. Switches the ball into the middle of the ground. It was a risky kick. It might work out okay for them here. A series of handballs sees Sylvan go up towards the half-forward line. A high up and under kick. 2-on-1 situation there. Coldstream were outnumbered, but the second effort was fantastic. But going after it there was Keegan Hewitt on the left boot. It was a scrambly one. Carrigan just got the pressure on there in time where it was a bit of a smother. Fresh air shot by Higgins. Umpire said okay, back to Carrigan. He got dumped after he kicked the football. The umpire said play on as well in the middle of the ground. Walker was after it. Had support there in Oliver. Links up out wide. This is okay here for Strawhair. Inside forward 50 he goes. His intended target there was Kimpton. He was worked out of it and might actually get the handball back here. Back towards the Kimpton direction. He's already kicked one. Does he have the poise to put the second one through? He pushed it wide. He pushed it right and out of bounds on the full. It is 8.5 minutes into this first term on AFL Game Day. It's a 1-point lead to the home side. Coldstream 7, Sylvan 6.
You can see what Coldstream are doing. The little chip passing. Sylvan want to go through the middle and run.
So Deacon at half back just pops it up, looking for his teammate there in Wagner, but was chopped off in the end by the Cats. And now they'll have another attack. 4A forward. Mundos puts it inside forward 50. Ordinary looking kick though. He was looking for his teammate there in Kimpton once again. But the Cougars clear now, and strong mark taken there by Baton Leach. Right on the wing position. Gives the handball off to Carrigan, the Division 4 best and fairest winner in 2018. But his kick was chopped off there by Dietzel, who puts it up towards centre half forward. Once again, it's Baton Leach, and there's been a whistle here. It's going to go the way of Coldstream, the free kick. Baton Leach to take it on the wing. Coldstream 1-1-7, Sylvan 1 straight 6. 9 minutes gone on the Eastland scoreboard. Gordon. Kick across the ground, true centre half back position. And now the Cougars look to build. They go wide out to the wing. Slipped over to Thomas, but he recovered in time, just got a little kick out. And they'll look to go inside forward 50 again, Coldstream. Wagner just battling at ground level, wrapped up in the tackle, and the umpire will ball it up.
You can tell it's a big ground when two players go for a contest, and you can count 1, 2, 3, 4 until the next group of players get over there to meet them. So, there's going to be a lot of tired boys here early on.
So at left half forward for Coldstream, but Schmidt, and they rebound now. The Cats go up towards half forward, bouncing ball. No one at home for the Cats. It looks to be gathered by Edema, who did it beautifully in the end, worked his way out of trouble, kicked down the wing, was looking for his teammate there and missing, but the spoil came from behind, and we'll see a throw in. Right on wing position here at Coldstream. 1 point the difference, 10.5 minutes gone, opening term on the Eastland scoreboard.
Sylvan has certainly got real intent at the moment, which I'm really impressed to see.
Faulkner.
And that was really silly play. You can be frustrated with the fact that you've been beaten or given away a free kick, but then to go back and remonstrate after the kick is inexcusable, because it gives this opportunity now for another player to kick a goal.
So Faulkner comes in to kick. It looks good off the boot, just away to the right-hand side, through for a minor score. So Coldstream 2-2-14, Sylvan 1-1-7, nearly 15 minutes gone, opening term on the Eastland scoreboard.
I tell you what, I wonder how big the ground would be if they didn't have... There's 15 metres between the fence and the boundary line.
So Zach Higgins, the former Croydon Blue, kicked it out, and right in front of us here on the broadcast position over the boundary line, it goes and out. Coldstream double the score of Sylvan at the moment. 14 plays 7. Cross down boundary side shortly to Penelope Knight. has made her way into the arena as Sylvan working themselves through the middle of the ground. Here's Emmett on the right boot. Kicked it up towards the half-forward line. One-on-one contest, and a really strong mark has been taken, and the kick goes quickly forward now. Wasting no time, are they? The Sylvan Football Club. In the front spot there was Smith. It got knocked away from him at the fall. The ball there was Griffin on hands and knees. He's dragged it in. He might get pinged here. He has been pinged. Right on his hammer, Lockie Lynch, and he'll go back from almost point-blank range and put through Sylvan second.
Well, that was a kick from Luke Coldstream. That is a huge kick. One step, he's kicked out about 50 metres to set that up for a well-deserved free kick and a chance to get the score back to close to even.
Listed as 68 today, but he's wearing the number 33. Nonetheless, Lockie Lynch comes in and makes no mistake. Eastland scoreboard as we cross the 16-minute mark of this first term on EFL game day. It's back to 1 point. 14 plays 13. Let's go around the grounds with Steve White. Yeah, Surrey Park 1 point leading. 1-2-8 leading Nunawading 1 point. So that was Surrey Park and Fair Park 1-2-8 1-1-1. Sorry. Yep. No worries. Just had a little moment there, but
just trolling you, BWS.
Well corrected. Perfect time to go down Boundary Side for the first time this afternoon. She doesn't need an umbrella today, so we've finally done her a solid. Good afternoon to you, Penelope Knight.
Good afternoon, guys. Thanks very much. Wearing number 33 is Coldstream there. So in the ruck there, Luke. So just to clarify that.
Yep, and there's a number 34 we don't have on our list either. Thank you, Penn. As the kick goes up towards centre half forward at the fall, the ball over the back there. Hampton barged his way through, got a handball out, but Craig gave the don't argue limping handball over the top, looking for Carrigan. The Coke skippers working in tandem there, but Sylvan put the pressure on and got the clearing kick away. It was out towards the Emmett direction, still across that half forward line there for Coldstream. Nice little look away handball, which was almost as a throw. It was seen. McInerney gives it away, and Sylvan across half back go forward.
So driving ball right out to the wing. Lynch, who's got a goal to his name already, has been on fire in this game, pops it up towards the half forward line. Beautiful mark taken out in front, straight on the chest by Lee Kimpton. And he's got an opportunity now. What's he going to do? Just looks for his best option, but he's going to pop it up to the top of the square. In position A. Unable to take the mark on that occasion was Schmidt, but he gets another goal at it again at ground level. But Gordon, cool heads prevail, and they look to win out here, Coldstream. Driving ball down the wing, centimetre perfect past that when it landed in the arms of McInerney. And now the Cougars drive it inside forward 50. No one at the front position though, as Hampton won it out, and now the Cats look to clear, just running it down the wing now as they go up towards half forward, and no one there as well for the Cats, but Kimpton scoops on the loose ball, puts it up towards the top of the square. Beautiful spoil came from behind though, and it's going to trickle over the line and out of bounds deep in the forward pocket for Sylvan. Let's go to Steve White with some scores.
Yeah, in Premier Division, North Ringwood 2 straight 12, lead Baldwin 139.
Thanks very much, Stephen. If you are out at a game, make sure you tweet us at Footy EFL. We'll have to get those scores coming in as Coldstream look to clear. But plenty of Cats around the footy. At the bottom of the pack there is Smith, just shovelled out there. Kimpton once again got a boot to the ball, and it's just away to the right-hand side. So they've looked dangerous up forward, Sylvan, in particular Lee Kimpton, every time he's gone near the footy. And we're all square at the 19-minute mark, 2-2-14 apiece on the Eastland scoreboard.
The Waverley Blues have got a jump on Ferntree Gully in Division 3. They lead by 4 goals, 4-1 to 1 behind. Gavin Casey's gone from 5'2" to 6'1" in about a matter of 20 minutes. As he's out there, we look forward to his around the ground report today.
I'll tell you what, I like this. Lynch and Kimpton have been very good up forward for Sylvan.
Agreed. Faulkner kicked it out. Strong jukes there by Dan Gordon. Certainly stood up early in this term as well, has Dan. Short passes on, hasn't wasted a possession either. Spotted up Craig. He's also finding the football. He's going to kick it inside forward 50 or thereabouts. He's looking for Cecilia out and muscled that time by Trent Giorgio. Love to see that he's still got the man bun happening even at that ripe old age as they go back inside Coldstream, and the mark has been taken there by Cecilia, and he'll have a ping from about 40 metres out. This is Dean directly in front.
Well, Giorgio, known for the fact that he's got a magnificent left, he kicks it a long way, put it straight along the ground, and a quick turnover. This could be a goal.
Well, he wasted no time either. He just lapped it up and kicked it straight through the middle. That's his first goal of the afternoon. That's Coldstream's third, and on the Eastland scoreboard, into time on in this first term on EFL Game Day. They are leading by 6 points. 3-2-20 to Sylvan 2-2-14. Let's go around the grounds on the score centre. Here's Steve White.
Mitcham, 4 straight, 24, lead the Basin, 3-2-20.
Good game of football, sound that one. I'll tell you what, they've got to be careful because every mistake they've made so far, Sylvan coming out of defence, have been hurt with a rebound kick or free kick that's allowed them to kick goals. So that transition's really hurting Sylvan.
So Fisher wins the tap down for the Cats. Quick kick by Higgins, and they roll it up towards half forward. Once again, Sylvan Begley. But the Cougars, once again, just transitioning it through the midfield now. Dale, who already has a goal to his name, spins his way out of trouble, pops it inside forward 50, looking there for Faulkner, who can't take it. Once again, it's Batten Leach trying to spin his way out of trouble. Clever look-away handball, though, by Strawhair. And the Cats, beautifully worked out, goes down the wing. And on hands and knees now is Koga, just looking to work things out. It's Price. Dale, once again, had it a long time and it's been pinged for holding the ball. Free kick going the way of Sylvan. Keegan Hewitt to take it.
He's been all right too, Hewitt.
So Hewitt just pops it up inside, up towards the half-forward line. Higgins chasing the footy, gathers beautifully, then goes with the banana around the body. Has it gone too wide? No, just keeping its way in. And now the Cats are hard up against the boundary line. And this is Smith, just tackled over the line, and we'll see a ball in. Or a free kick, rather, for holding the ball.
I'll tell you what, I reckon that was pretty stiff. He seemed like he got boot to ball then.
He did, and it was probably the fact he may have held onto a little bit long in the tackle, but I would have played play on for that one.
So they work it long up towards centre half forward. Bouncing ball. Sasia once again just paddling it in front of himself, then goes backwards. Mackenzie just popping it inside forward 50. Kick up towards the pocket, looking for Deacon, who's unable to take the mark. Sylvan defenders battling willfully at ground level. And once again, he keeps going, Deacon. Just doesn't want to give an inch at the moment. Sasia just pops it up towards the top of the square. Looking there for Faulkner. Unable to take it. Schmidt taken down in the tackle, but got clean hands out eventually. And the ball comes out wide. Marked on the wing there by D'Alfonso, right in front of our broadcast position. He works it down the wing and finds Schmidt once again, who's seen a lot of the footy in this opening term. That's not his greatest kick, though. The Coldstream defender really could have marked that. Now they're in a heap of trouble, the Cougars, and it's all wrapped up at half forward for the Cats.
Ball's moving up and down the ground pretty well at the moment, which is good to see.
Round the grounds on the score centre, Steve White.
Knox 3-5-23, lead Bayswater 1-4-10.
Well, an early scoreline favouring Knox there as the ball comes down. Here's Hewitt on the left, squeezed a nice kick into the middle of the ground. It just went over the top there of Emmett, so left it up there for Austin McInerney. Got it into the middle to his skipper there in Carrigan. Sold a little bit of candy, then thumped it on the left. Inside forward 50, the ball goes. It looks like the Cats have the numbers. Giorgio was there, got the handball away. On the right boot, they go out towards the half back line, and slips catch, sensational Ben Strawhair, who's had a bit of the football in this first term as well. It's an entertaining game out here at Coldstream. Get down if you're in the area. We're in Yarra Valley wine country. I don't think it's BYO bottle, but the bar is open out here as the kick goes up towards the half forward line, and it's Dale getting underneath it. Adam Dale, a long way from home for the Cougars, in towards the middle of the ground. That's okay. Tyson McKenzie, our Tobin Brothers goal of the day, clubhouse leader at the moment, kicks the ball out into space. Wagner, he wanted it to sit up for him, sold a bit of candy. That was good on Giorgio. Squeezed a kick, looking for Carrigan or Faulkner inside 450. Faulkner got a little toe poker on it. The ball comes out. Sasia didn't even look at the goals, and he put it through. He's a gem. He just knows where the big sticks are. That's his second today, and we'll call him now
the clubhouse leader for the Tobin brothers goal of the day. Sensational stuff there by Coldstream. They worked the ball through the middle of the ground and a little bit of luck at the end, but the nous and the expertise of Sasir sees them on the Eastland scoreboard go 12 points up 25 minutes into this first term.
Well, the thing that's been really interesting is that now Coldstream have seen that they're going to go through the middle. They're going to switch it at every cost and try and outrun Sylvan. And you can see Sylvan are making a lot of substitutions at the moment. And there are a lot of boys that are very, very tired.
Let's cross down boundary side to Penn.
Yes, so wearing number 34 for the Cats is Joshua Fisher, who would normally be wearing number 4, so he's in the ruck also.
So in the middle again, Lockie Craig brought down in the tackle by his opposite number there in Schmidt. And the umpire calls for it again. 26 plays 14, 25 and a half gone on the Eastland scoreboard opening term. That man we speak of, Fisher, palms it down. And Strawhair's got a paddock to work with. Pops it long inside forward 50. Rolling at ground level there was Thomas, unable to take it. And now the Cougars look to work it out, but loose ball. They're in a dangerous position here, the Cougars. Daniel Price brought down in the tackle. And now they just battle at half back just to try and work it out. And now little kick over the top by Witchell, and now into the midfield now. Oh, beautiful mark there taken there by Georgiou at half back. One of the best swingmen in the Eastern Football League, as we've seen in his time with Murrelbach. Finds Schmidt, and now up towards half forward. Fisher out-muscled there by Gordon, who got it away. And now the Cats, they look to repel again, Hewitt, and they pop it inside forward 50. Could they have one last chance to snatch back another goal? Sylvan, Schmidt at half forward. Kick just didn't go to plan in the end. And now there's no one able to pick the footy up and get a clean kick out. Price just battling. He's gained about 20 metres there, Price, just kicking it along the ground. And the umpire has called out a whistle blown here, and the free kick is going to go the way of Coldstream. Smack bang on the wing. So they work it up towards half forward. Witchell. He's come across from Mitcham in season 2018. Finds Gordon. And there's the siren. There's quarter time. It's Coldstream 4-2-26, leading Sylvan 2-2-14. 12 points the difference on the Eastland scoreboard at the first break.
Hope you're enjoying the broadcast right here on SEN Plus 1377, simulcasting on 98.1 Radio Eastern, streaming live around the globe, efl.org.au. Our man about the world, Brad Bird, he's in Spain this week just for something different. He is tuning in. We absolutely love it. Major goal kickers on the ground. He's Dean Cecilia for the Coldstream Football Club. He has 2 goals. The rest are single goal kickers, and there's 21 other great games as you go looking for your football this afternoon. Keep those scores coming through via Twitter at FootyEFL. We want to bring everybody up to date with what's happening in round 12 action. 1 quarter down, 3 to go. We can't wait. Stay with us right here on 1377 SEN Plus.
Australia v South Africa live, clear 4 minutes.
AFL.
Fox is onto it, almost got goal side, did, floats it home!
NBA.
Curry up and down for a right-hand slam!
A-League Finals.
Honda!
State of Origin.
The war is over, New South Wales are champions yet again!
The 2019 Cricket World Cup.
Drives, this could be it, he beats Smith off, it's out to the boundary for 4!
When big sport happens, you'll hear it live on SEN and the SEN app. Download today.
Only 19 shots from 53 inside 50s, down on clearances and can't lay a tackle. What was the seniors coach going to do? Jono surprised himself and everyone else. The spray he gave the boys at halftime worked. Well, he did finish it by saying he'd shout him a post-game feed and frothies at Eastland if they won. For all of life and footy's little moments, there's Eastland, proud sponsors of the EFL. Eastland, live real.
Hello, I'm Daniel for the Family Peace Foundation. I reckon credit cards are bad for families. Well, they must be. Mum and Dad argue more about credit cards than anything else. Well, they used to anyway. That was until the lady came to our house a while ago and spoke to Mum and Dad about their credit cards. I'm not sure what she said, but Mum and Dad argue a lot less now. Family peace. Do it for your kids.
The 2019 Toyota AFL season is beginning to tighten up, so don't miss your exclusive Round 16 AFL record, featuring teams, stats and facts in your expanded matchday section. In this week's record, we celebrate Lee Matthews' 50th year in the game.
Jeez, I'm glad that's not going to air.
Bigger figure in footy. And exclusive each week, how your team rates according to the stats. Don't forget to grab your AFL record this weekend, still just $5.
Thanks to Karcher, the official 2019 partner of the AFL record.
Do you love the sound of this? What about this? Now, combine the two. And enter to be a part of Mechanics Day at Marvel Stadium. Thanks to Penrite Oil, Bendix Brakes and Ryco Filters. Mechanics, register now for your chance to win tickets for you and a workmate to the Bulldogs Demons game at Marvel Stadium Sunday, July 14. Enter now, icanwin.com.au. And don't worry, there'll be plenty of food and beverages under the bonnet. Mechanics Day. Enter now, icanwin.com.au.
From where you are to the game. From the game back to where you were. Get there with Scooty. Melbourne's first motor scooter rideshare service is here. More nimble, more affordable. Scooty is the new, safe, greener, easier way to zip your way through inner city peak hour. Next time you're out and about, jump on the back of a Scooty. Download the Scooty app and book a ride.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. National Tiles now supply and install all their timber, hybrid and laminate flooring. Yes, National Tiles do it all for you. Measure, quote, supply and install all National Tiles timber, laminate and hybrid flooring. From just $1,300 fully installed for an average 26 square metre laminate living room floor, fully supplied and installed. Only at National Tiles.
You know, I couldn't do my job without my robot.
Thank you for saying that.
Because from the stumps to the roof, Robot's got it.
Robots got it.
The toughest materials at the lowest prices.
Robots got it.
Steel, sleepers, wire mesh, timber, roofing.
Robots got everything you could ever need.
You know what? For a robot, you're a good bloke. Head to Notting Hill, Sunshine, Preston, Dromana, Pakenham, Coldstream and Darnham. Call 1300-GO-ROBOT or
10 seconds.
ROBOT, Robot Building Supplies.
SEN Footy streaming live and exclusively on the all-new SEN app.
Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Mike's back on now.
Yep. Coldstream Reserve is the place to be out here today. It's Division 4 football at its best. It's third, playing fifth, and it's Coldstream, the home side, leading by a handy 2 goals at quarter time. 4-2, 26 to 2-2. 4-team crossing boundary side to Penelope Knight, who's got the senior coach of the Cougars, Chad Rogers, on hand.
Yeah, I've got Chad here. Look, you guys have come out firing on a beautiful sunny day here. A few key messages to the boys there. What were they to get them like firing and keep on this good roll?
Just keep having the aggression at the ball and not the man, and keep being the first in and winning that contested footy, and then really utilise our ground and width and get them on the spread. That's worked for us so far.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you.
Thanks, Pan. And let's go to Steve White on the score centre. Quarter time scores rolling on through, Stephen.
Premier Division, Vermont 7-3-45, lead Montrose 1-3-9. Division 1, Lilydale 2 straight 12, trail East Lingwood 3-1-19, and Knox 3-5-23, lead Bayswater 2-5-17.
So second term underway here at Coldstream. No clean tap taken out though, but Gordon wins it out of the ruck and just slams it on the boot as the Cougars go towards centre half forward. Snap kick around the body, bouncing ball on the flank. It's going to beat all comers as Carrigan sees it over the boundary line and out of bounds. As Coldstream lead this by 12 points, 4-2-26. Sylvan at 2-2-14. 3 versus 5 on the Division 4 ladder. So Gordon and Fisher to contest the ruck. Ball drops short in the end. Craig brought to ground, and then Gordon wraps his opposite number up in the tackle, and there's been a bit of confusion, and the umpire's just going to call for it back. And we'll see another ball up, half forward for the Cougars. Gordon wins it down to Craig, who pops it up over the top to Witchell. Puts it up towards the top of the square. Fist came from behind, though, by Georgiou. And the players just dive on the footy. Martin wraps it up in the tackle, and we'll see a ball up.
Another quarter time score coming through. This time it's in Division 1. Upper Ferntree Gully 5-3-33 to Wanturna South 0 at quarter time.
So slammed on the boot there by Aziel, unable to smothered and unable to get the clear out. So the umpire calls for it again.
Sorry, that's 0-4, 4 behinds at quarter time. So a 29-point margin to the Kings at home.
Let's go to Steve White quickly with some more scores.
Blackburn 3-1-19 lead South Croydon 2-5-17. Roeville 2-1-13 lead Doncaster 4 behinds.
So a lot happening around the grounds today. If you are out at a game, make sure you tweet us in. And the free kick, Chris Witchell, who in the back, will line up to put through his first goal of the afternoon. He comes in, kick looks good off the boot. Is it going to drop short? Is going to make the distance up to the top of the square. Dale and touched through for a minor score. So 4-3-27 Coldstream. Sylvan at 2-2-14. 13 points the margin. 2 minutes gone on the Eastland scoreboard.
I think Sylvan have got to be careful here. They've got to get themselves back into the game and use the football.
Well, they're making it hard for themselves. Giorgio, the kick was short from him, got 2 handballs away, so they are out of that danger zone, up towards a half back line, straight through the arms there of Hampton. Stolen there by Gordon on the left boot. Kicks it in towards the middle, and Craig went up for it. Lockie Craig takes a strong mark. He's been good. Switches it into the middle of the park now. He's Tyson McKenzie on the right boot. Sends the ball late towards the Dale direction. The big bite over the back. The big man got it on the second attempt there, got the handball away, but it was chopped off, and a nice slips catch taken by Verstegen, who wastes no time, up and about, kicks to the top of the goal square, but it's all the Cats in that back point as a little topo comes out. Gordon gave the handball up, he copped it away, D'Alfonso, but stolen here by Craig on the right boot, kicks it right towards the line, and it's knocked through for 1 behind. Jones was there to lend the hand. Minor score is the result. 3 minutes tick over the Eastland scoreboard into this second term. 28 plays 14.
I tell you, I've got a feeling that it's going to break open in a moment. Coldstream are just all over Sylvan.
Yeah.
Sylvan's use of the footy's been poor. Coldstream look really confident.
Well, they look dangerous every time they go forward, Coldstream, don't they? As Giorgio just slams it on the boot to half back, hits Emmett on the chest. So Emmett looks inboard, and the kick just really finds nobody in the end. Walsh chops it off up towards centre half forward, and now the Cougars look to build through. McKenzie roosts it from 50 metres up towards the top of the square, but Giorgio in position A plays on very quickly. True full back position now, finds it out at half back and finds his teammate there in Dietzel, who tries to sell a bit of candy and work his way out of trouble. Found his way into a bit of trouble there, and Schmidt battling now to keep it in play. And the Cats, they've got the numbers here, but they're conceding some awful ground here as they go inside forward 50 up towards the top of the square. Bouncing ball, sure goal coming up for the Cats, you'd think. Smith, they made a meal of it here, the Cats, but wheeling around there was Lynch. Has he nailed it? He has.
Yes, he has.
And the Cats, they find their way back within 8 points, and they go to 3-2-20. Coldstream 4-4-28 on the Eastland scoreboard. That's his second. 4.5 minutes gone, second term.
Well, that goes against a complete run of play. That ball was actually knocked forward quite well.
I think Matteo D'Alfonso was the one that kept the ball alive right in front of us here. That was sensational play.
Yeah, look, it was scrambly, but they've been able to get on the scoreboard, and both actually, when the ball goes into both forward lines, they both look dangerous at this stage. So I think Coldstream will be disappointed with their bombing into the forward line, which they don't want to keep doing.
2 early goals to Fair Park season with a handy lead at the moment by 17 points against Surrey Park as Sylvan go forward again and getting down low and taking the mark lead. Kimpton, it might have been downfield, or is it going the other way? Kimpton looks filthy or upset or broken, one or the other. It's going to be a free kick to Coldstream in the middle of the park. So breathing a sigh of relief there. Verstegen is the recipient. The Coldstream fans as he kicks it out towards Koga on the right foot. It was a deliberate kick as well. That was really good. Spotted up Witchell, who moves the ball forward to Sear underneath it. Takes the mark. He would have been given the free kick anyway, but it has been paid the mark. He's already kicked 2 goals in that opening turn. He's the clubhouse leader for the Tobin brothers goal of the day, and he'll go back and have a ping.
Yeah, look, there's a fair bit of feeling at the moment amongst both sides, and after the player had been put down after the kick, so they've got to make sure they remain composed and continue to play footy.
So Dean Cecilia comes in now and it never looked like going through. Goal umpire crosses his chest and through for the minor score it goes. 6 minutes into this second term. It's a handy 9-point lead to Coldstream. You feel like they could have been leading by more. It's 9 scoring shots to 5. Let's go around the grounds with Steve White.
Murrelbach 3-1-19, lead Doncaster East 3 straight 18.
Dangerous kick in there by Georgiou. Found Hampton at half back. 9 points the difference. 6.5 gone in the second term. Coldstream's way. Fast start to this second term. High intensity footy from both sides. Beautiful mark in front there by Fisher, the ruckman. Right in front of Dan Gordon, who's also seen a fair bit of the footy early on in this game. So Fisher will just pop it down the wing. No one really in front position to take it. Now Carrigan tries to get it loose. And ball going nowhere. So we'll have a ball up right on the wing here. And a fair bit going on. Let's cross down boundary side to Penelope Knight for car sales.
Look, listening in at quarter time there with Chad, he did mention that the intensity could go up from the boys, and you're certainly seeing that out here on the field at the moment. So it'd be good to see them actually lift and convert.
So the umpire calls it for a secondary bounce on the wing. Perfect conditions out here today at Coldstream. Gordon took it out of the ruck, then just got a little kick out. Carrigan at the front position. And now the Cougars, and their high tackle. It's going to go the free kick going the way of the Cougars, and they're taking a fair while to get up.
It's a little bit stiff there. I thought there was a duck their head into that one a bit, but that, well, you hit them high, you're going to give a free kick.
So Isel looking for Witchell, who takes it in the Dukes at half forward.
It's actually a pretty good spot of the ground to have a shot on goal here if it's within your range.
Yeah, well, Kimpton showed you can kick him from there.
Well, he's just going to pop it up along to the top of the square. Georgiou in front position, though. Loves those situations. Takes it in the hands. And they'll reset hit from here, the Cats. So Georgiou kick to an interesting position, though, but hit his teammate on the chest. And now Fisher at half back. Wheels around and looks to play on, gives the hands off. They've got a fair bit of space to work with. Unlucky bounce, though, for the Cats. And the ball trickles over the line and out of bounds for a throw-in. 4-5-29 Coldstream, 3-2-20 Sylvan.
That's what I call about running into negative positions on this ground. You don't give the ball away there. You've got to go back inside.
Steve White around the grounds on the score centre.
Whitehorse 2-3-15, lead Glen Waverley 1-3-9. Warrandyte 6-1-37, lead Churnside Park 3-1-19.
At Footy EFL via Twitter, keep us up to date all afternoon. Oliver couldn't quite take the mark. His second effort was good, right on his hammer, was missing. Umpire said it was holding the man a little bit ticky touch, but nonetheless he goes inside forward 50, and it was a strong kick and it was a strong lead and mark, and a difficult position now to have a shot on goal there by Greg Smith, but it looks like his first and second options are going to be ignored, and he'll go back and back himself in here. Going to have to start it left and work it back. There isn't too much of a breeze out here at Coldstream. He shoots towards goal now. Has it held its line? I think this might have gone through. It gone over the post. If the post was higher, it would have hit it. The goal umpire said one behind. 9.5 minutes on the Eastland scoreboard now. They're inching close to Sylvan. It's only an 8-point ball game. 3-3-21 to 4-5-29. Bringing the ball back into play. Verstegen on the right boot out towards a half back line. It was a good kick, and getting underneath it there, Anthony Faulkner. Very nice mark.
And now they'll try and bring it through the middle. If they go down the wing, then they'll try and bring it through the middle so they don't use too much wide space here.
So Faulkner was looking for Wagner, though, but Strawhair looks to gather as the Cats look to work their way forward. But they've got the numbers here. The Cougars just handballing it around now, and McInerney wheeling around up towards half forward. Dale once again just paddles it in front of himself, and now the Cougars through Deacon look to mount some sort of a challenge here. Carrigan pops it inside forward 50, bouncing ball. Look at him burst his way through. There was Dale. Witchell just lost possession of it at the last moment. And now loose ball at half forward. Trying to fend his way off there was Martin, and did so quite well. Mundos looks to clear the Cats. And now they look to find their way out of trouble. That's to our broadcast position of the ground. There's a fair bit of room going on. But it's Verstegen coughing up the footy as the Cats go forward, up towards half forward. Hewitt just wheels around, pops it up towards the top of the square. No one in front position, though. And that's Walsh taking the mark. True full back position as they move it on very quickly. Koga at half back. Works it down the wing. Kick fell short there for Wagner. It's Georgiou once again. Gives the hands up to Strawhair. Rather, it was Deitzel. And now Oliver. Kick around the corner. Found Georgiou. So Georgiou just slipped at the last moment. Missed kick there. And now the Cougars in defence will look to mount some sort of a challenge. Dale just tried to juggle the mark at the last moment there at centre half back, then pops it on the boot into the middle of the ground. Bouncing ball. It's all Cats though. And brought to ground there was Strawhair. And the umpire calls for the ball. We'll have a ball up smack bang in the middle of Coldstream. Let's go to Steve White in the score centre.
Forest Hill 9-4-58, lead Nunawading 2-2-14. East Burwood 11-5-71, lead Kilsyth yet to score.
Mundos, second effort was good, just poked it out wide. He was looking for Strawhair over the top of his head. It goes, met nicely there by Misson, but Strawhair up to the task. Handball over the top. This is good play. Mundos on the right boot, poked it up towards centre half forward. It was a good kick too. Greg Smith on the right boot, winds around. They go inside forward 50. The ball might just be kept alive here for Oliver. Second effort was good. Was it a throw? The umpire said it was there. Smith caught one over the shoulder, but he ducked into the tackle. Good umpiring there. Series of handballs to go back towards the half forward line. Hewitt inside forward 50 again. Smith worked underneath his opposition. The player wasn't watching the football. He'll go back and have a shot on goal. Greg Smith from 40.
Yeah, look, they eventually got into the right space. It was pretty good work from Smith. He was involved in 2 or 3 contests then and continued to push himself into the right areas. It's been one of those games where this quarter, the ball's gone up and down. There's been a lot of mistakes, a lot of missed targets, a lot of pressure, and a lot of tired players out there at the moment.
Wasn't much more Benny Thomas could do, but it will be Greg Smith lining himself up. Got to kick these goals as a forward. Goes Goldwood and pushed it to the right-hand side. So another blemish for the Coldstream Football Club. They move on the Eastland scoreboard to 4-6-30 out to an 8-point lead over Sylvan, 3-4-22. Around the grounds on the score centre, Steve White.
Division 1, East Ringwood 3-1-19, lead Lilydale 2 straight. Doncaster East 4 straight 24, lead Mooralbark 3-2-20.
So Verstegen plays on and brings it back into play. Right up towards the wing, looking for Walsh, who spilt the mark. Gordon wrapping up Trent Martin in the tackle. Ball at the bottom of the pack. Umpire calls for it. So Walsh and Fisher to contest the ruck. And they get the clearance here. Coldstream through Mackenzie up towards half forward. And the Coldstream man was pushed over in the end. Advantage paid though. Baton Leach pops it up toward inside forward 50. Looking for Cecilia. Hits him on the chest. And that was smart play there by the Cougars. And beautiful opportunistic work there by Baton Leach.
Yeah, he did well. Then he made sure he balanced towards the end, made sure the kick went in the right direction, and they're given far too much latitude. You cannot give Cecilia this much latitude as a forward.
Well, this reads third. Dean Cecilia, kick comes in. Beautiful kick, splits the middle, and Coldstream create a buffer yet again. They go to 5-5-35. Sylvan 3-4-22. 14 and a half minutes gone on the Eastland scoreboard.
That's where it hurts, when Brown's got the kick from the similar position out down one end, misses the easy one, comes back all the way down, and then it's like a 12-point turnaround, that one. So it's a good lead at the moment for Coldstream, and they seem to just be a little bit, they've got getting too much space up forward.
It's crossed down boundary side to Penelope Knight.
Look, a little trend to maybe look out for is that the Sylvan boys tend to run forward quite well into their forward line, but pushing back up into the defence seems to be they're a bit slow on, so it'd be interesting to see if they keep this attack up forward line pressure.
Great stuff, Penn, our number one boundary rider, thanks to car sales in 2019 as Coldstream tried to work themselves forward again. Faulkner was underneath it, paddled it in front of himself, goes after it again, got the handball away. That was good. Deacon on the left inside, forward 50. It was sharp and it was quick, and coming out in front and taking a pretty strong mark in the end in the front spot. I think that is Kane Isel. I'm going with Isel. And one thing I've noticed about the Coldstream side, they don't waste too much time in going back. no 30-second clock in the EFL, but he comes in now, kicks it across the face. It never looked like going. I don't even think that's gone out of bounds on the full in the end. We'll see a boundary throw in, and we'll go around the grounds with Steve White.
Baldwin 6-7-43, lead North Ringwood 2-2-14. Blackburn 3-1-19, league South Croydon 2-5-17.
Great stuff working around the grounds this afternoon at Footy EFL. Keep those scores are coming through. Dale had the front spot, the big man, at the fall of the ball. Little kick out by Sylvan will see it out of that danger zone. It'll go towards the Delfonso direction in the front spot for Steeg, and he's had a good second turn. Might have just held on Delfonso a little too long there. Jiggy Touchwood, but it was there right in front of the brethren. And the Cougar fans aren't too happy about that as Sylvan up towards the wing position. Gordon came out from the side, created the spoil at the fall of the ball for Stegan. Little grubber kick, gained every bit of 35-40 metres up towards the Faulkner direction. Will it be kept in? It won't. Bompardini sees it over the boundary line and out of bounds. Let's go around the grounds once again on the score centre.
South Belgrave 16-10-106, lead Donvale 4-7-31.
16-10?
Yep.
Holy dooly. Wowza. We'll keep a very close eye on that scoreline. We could see an EFL record at that rate as the ball comes in. Hitting the deck there was Craig. Came out. Quick kick up towards the wing position. Which way is this going to bounce? In the favour of Dan Price, who just couldn't quite trap it but had support there. And Carrigan, who snapped around the body up towards the half-forward line. Knocked away at the fall. The ball nicely done there by Mitchell. Got brought to ground. Now a chance for Sylvan to get the possession, get the target, but they can't hit it. Craig, once again, he just knows how to read the football so well, Dan.
Yeah, he certainly does. That's why he's the co-captain of this Cougars outfit as they go inside forward 50 and a downfield free kick, surely. As the Coldstream man was just poleaxed into the ground just as he kicked the footy.
Unnecessary by Hewitt.
So the ball will come back. They'll have another shot on goal here. Witchell to take it. And this could make things very interesting for a buffer as we near time on in the second term. So Chris Witchell hasn't got a goal to his name yet, but has certainly battled well today, deserves one. From directly in front, will kick from about 35 metres out. Comes in, makes no mistake. Coldstream, they go 19 points clear, 6-5-41, leading Sylvan 3-4-22, 18 minutes gone, second term on the Eastland scoreboard.
Well, you can't... When you're coming out of defence, you've got to hit your targets, and unfortunately Sylvan have come out of defence 4 times now and completely missed their short targets, and they're coming out to the same section each and every time, which is the dead area, and it's really difficult to defend from that space. So they've got to look at switching or coming through the middle. They cannot consistently go to that area and miss targets.
Well, crucial next few minutes coming up for Sylvan, because if they concede another one, they go into half-time staring down the barrel of a pretty sizable margin. As we're back in the middle of the ground, the Cats win the tap, but through the midfield again, the Cougars so dominant inside forward 50. Asile rolls it towards the pocket and paddled towards the boundary line there by Ward. And we'll see a throw in deep inside Coldstream's forward 50. Let's go around the grounds quickly with Steve White.
Mooralbark 4-3-27, lead Doncaster East 4-1-25.
Well, a ball in right forward pocket. The Coldstream Football Club.
Dangerous area, this one, because this is where you don't want Coldstream to be able to get an easy clearance.
Dale will go up against Fisher. Fisher had the front spot. Little right hand poke there by Dale was okay. Is going to quickly restart this one. Thought it might have been an early whistle for a high tackle, but instead it was a ball up. It did scoot out though. Pye throws it up again, so Fisher and Dale gets pushed towards the boundary line, expected to go over. Eventually Schmidt was in there, somehow kept it alive. So Sylvan out of that danger zone. In the front spot there was Mackenzie. Now a chance here on the left boot by Walsh. He's been good, he's been spearing, and Cecio's kicked 3 out in front. As we've seen all day, we'll go back and have a pink. 45 out directly in front.
And again, it's that space that they're allowing them to transition around the back of the contest. Open forward line, open space. Beautiful pass, that one.
You'd almost just have to back him in from here. He'll kick from just inside the 50, leans over it and kicks it gun barrel straight. 4 goals to Dean Cecile in the opening half, and there's still 10 minutes of play in this second term out here at Coldstream. A very handy, very big lead, as we might call it. 7-5-47. It's 25 points now. They're over double the score of Sylvan, 3-4-22. Let's go around the grounds on the score centre with Steve White.
Warrandyte 6-1-37, lead Churnside Park 3-1-19. Waverley Blues 7-4-46, lead Ferntree Gully 2-6-18.
Well, look, this is danger signs now for Sylvan. They just haven't been able to get the ball and use the ball well, and they're being killed in the middle. Clearance work of Coldstream has been far better than Sylvan's.
Well, they've got a few minutes to reply here, the Cats, as they win the tap down, but they get another clearance out of the midfield. The Cougars, Giorgio mops up at half back. Hampton just bombs it out towards the far side of the ground, and no one able to just take the ball and take it on. Clever tap on though as the Cats through Strawhair work it up towards half forward, looking for Kempton. Beautiful fist came from the back there by Gordon, and we'll see a ball in at half forward for Sylvan.
He's been really solid down back, Gordon. Really liked his work today.
So 25 points the difference on the Eastland scoreboard as we near 22 minutes in the second term. It was only 12 points the difference at quarter time. Bursting his way through there was Schmidt. Was met solidly with the tackle though, and we'll see another ball up.
Unfortunately, he took 2 or 3 steps to get into the contest, ran straight into the tackle, and prior opportunity says he's going to lose that.
Well, he's given away the free kick, Verstegen, and there's a bit of confusion going on here. I think it may have been maybe 25, or it may be...
It was a kick after play.
So Gordon to take it at centre half back, moves it on quickly across the ground to Koga. Little chip pass over the top, too wide there for his teammate there in Carrigan, but works it out okay. And now Koga just centres the ball nicely, and they're on here. Mackenzie pops it long inside forward 50 up towards the top of the square. Fly from behind. Dale met solidly with the tackle. Got it out though, Asile, and they'll walk into an open goal here.
There's the V.
Sasia, and he's kicked 5. What a game by Sasia so far. And Coldstream running away with this one. 8-5-53, Sylvan 3-4-22. 23 gone on the Bendigo Banks Eastland scoreboard.
Great play then from Big Dale. He took the pack on, managed to get the hands out, and they were able to kick that goal. But that all happened again because Coldstream were allowed to chip through the middle. They've been able to go through the middle each time and then transition into their forward half really easily.
It's crossed down boundary side to Penelope Knight, thanks to car sales.
Look, we saw Faulkner take a bit of a huge hit there. I think he's just winded at the moment, so he's coming off, and hopefully he'll be all right. So we'll get further updates as it goes on.
Good stuff there, Penn, as the ball through the middle of the ground now. It's going the way of Sylvan because the whistle was blown. Had to do some digging on that Donvale South Belgrave score. The game started at 1 because the women are playing very shortly. It's deep into the final term out there. That makes it a little bit more sense as opposed to an EFL record. As it comes out now, Strawhair for the Cats, got the handball away. Higgins up towards the half forward line, couldn't hit the target of Oliver. It was knocked away from him over the boundary line. It goes and out of bounds. Steve White, some more scores coming through around the grounds. No?
Not yet.
Not yet. You had your hand up before, and I was saying that last little nugget.
I was just stretching, mate. Davo's taken up too much space over here.
Oh, those 47 jam donuts. I mean, it's...
Comes in now, Begley, got the quick handball away. Oliver, looping handball over the top, looking for Schmidt, got boot to ball just in the nick of time. Under a fair old bit of pressure there, out of bounds on the full. It goes.
It's all right, I had the 48th one, mate.
Again, poor disposal. I know he's under pressure, but that's been the trademark, unfortunately, of Sylvan today. Their use of the football has been really poor.
Was called touched off the boot, which is probably a blessing in disguise. Begley got the knockdown. Clearing kick by Coldstream out of that danger zone, out towards his teammate out there, and Chris Witchell, who's kicked a goal in this first half. Over the boundary line it goes. Far side of Coldstream Reserve, near the cricket nets, around the grounds on the score centre.
Knox 6-12-48, lead Bayswater 5-8-38, Doncaster East 4-1-25, Trail Moorobark 4-5-29.
A few close games happening out there in Division 1, Dan.
So the ball tossed back into play. Fisher, clever tap, hurt his teammate at the back there, and now they'll work it out here. Sylvan thumped on the boot inside forward 50. Kempton, was he shoved in the back? No, he wasn't. He's given away the free kick, I think. And it's going to go to Edema, who works it out towards half back. Walsh on hands and knees, juggles what would have been a mark. But he's wrapped up in the tackle there by Begley. And he's clutching at his knee, I think. He came up a bit ginger there. So we can contest the ruck now. Wins it down. Baton Leach just paddles it towards the boundary line. We'll see a throw in.
Go around the grounds on the score centre, Stephen White.
Baldwin 9-7-61, lead North Ringwood 3-4-22. Norwood 4-4-28, lead Noble Park 2-2-14.
So crucial time coming up for Sylvan. Can they snag at least one more before the main break? Kick goes inside forward 50 to no one in particular. Bouncing ball in the pocket. Wheeling around there nicely. There was Kimpton. Centering ball and finds a teammate there in D'Alfonso. Beautifully done.
Dan.
Faulkner?
Yep.
Oh, sorry, you're right. No, you're spot on.
So D'Alfonso to line up directly in front. Will kick from about 35 metres out. And this is a crucial kick coming up for the Cats if they're to stay in touch before half time. So Matteo D'Alfonso comes in. Kick looks good off the boot. He's nailed it. And Sylvan 4-4-28. Coldstream 8-5-53. They're still in there with a chance. 25 points the margin. Eastland scoreboard.
Well, it's certainly an understatement to say they needed that goal. And again, it came against the run of play. It was actually poor disposal again into the Sylvan forward line, but it was a very nice cross kick then from Kington, and a nice mark and a good finish by D'Alfonso. So, this is the key one now, is this clearance.
It is. And you know what, the last couple of minutes, it seems like Sylvan's got a bit of momentum. So can they get the quick clearance and get another one on the board? Handy lead, though, 25 points for Coldstream. Umpire to restart play now. Throws it up. We'll give that one that time there to Walsh. Looks like Coldstream will get that important clearance here. Can they get the quick answer goal over the back there? Witchell couldn't quite pick the football up. Walker was there. Just needs it to sit up for him. Eventually it does, but then he's gang tackled nicely by Witchell and Walsh and brought to ground. Get a stat on the amount of times that Shannon Walsh pulls that little bit of fringe back over his ear for the day. It'll probably hit about 70, I reckon, as the siren sounds to announce half-time. And out here at Coldstream Reserve, it is a home side with a very impressive first half out here. 8-5-53. They lead Sylvan 4-4-28. 5 goals to the great full forward of the Coldstream Football Club, Dean Cecile, who's just put himself in every position for every opportunity. And we've also got singles to Chris Witchell, Tyson McKenzie, who kicked a ripper in the first, and Adam Dale, the first of the day. Whilst on the Sylvan side, Lachlan Lynch, he's got 2 goals. He's their major goal kicker. And of course, Lee Kimpton a goal in the first, and Matteo D'Alfonso kicking the last goal. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast right here on SEN Plus 1377, streaming live around the globe on EFL.org.au, simulcast through 98.1 Radio Eastern. We can't forget that. Around the grounds on the score centre, Steve White's going to bring you up to date with all those scores, but keep us up to date as it happens, please, at Footy EFL on Twitter. We're one half down. The sun's still out. Get down here to Coldstream Reserve. We can't wait to bring you the next piece of action right after this.
The award-winning crunch time this morning from 11.
Clear. We've got. I'll get Clint Stanaway up in a few minutes from now. I'll let you know when he's ready.
NBA.
Curry on the dime for a right-hand slam.
A-League Finals. State of Origin.
The war is over. New South Wales are champions yet again.
The 2019 Cricket World Cup.
Drives. This could be it. He beats Smith off. And down to the boundary for 4.
When big sport happens, you'll hear it live on SEN and the SEN app. Download today.
The senior coach has taken the team to Eastland for a post-game feed. If only they had this kind of teamwork on the field. They've just ordered starters to share, plus frothies for the whole table. And now Steve-O's chucked a prawn to Macca. He circled back. Yes! Straight into his pie hole. Yo, beauty! Good form, boys. For all of life and footy's little moments, there's Eastland, proud sponsors of the EFL. Eastland, live real. The 2019 Toyota AFL season is beginning to tighten up, so don't miss your exclusive Round 16 AFL record, featuring teams, stats and facts in your expanded matchday section. In this week's record, we celebrate Lee Matthews' 50th year in the game. From Hawthorn star to Collingwood and Brisbane premiership coach, there has been no bigger figure in footy. And exclusive each week, how your team rates according to the stats. Don't forget to grab your AFL record this weekend, still just $5.
Thanks to Karja, the official 2019 partner of the AFL record.
Hello. The biggest selling tile in Australia is 600 by 300 gloss white. And National Tiles is by far the biggest seller of these tiles in Australia. Why? It's simple. The average selling price is over $20 per metre, and National Tiles price is just $9.95 every day of the year. That's just one example of National Tiles' absolutely unbeatable everyday low prices on wall and floor tiles. So rush into National Tiles now and save.
Do you hold a current full Victorian motorcycle or scooter licence and want to earn some extra cash? Scooty. Melbourne's new two-wheel taxi service is here. And right now, Scooty is looking for motor scooter drivers to beat Melbourne's traffic congestion and get people to the game, the gig or the meeting. Sign up at scooty.com.au today and turn your motor scooter into a money-making machine. Scooty. Delivering people.
Do you love the sound of...
I've got Clint ready to go, so he's ready straight out of the break.
All right, thanks, Nigel.
And enter to be a part of Mechanics Day at Marvel Stadium. Thanks to Penrite Oil, Bendix Brakes and Ryco Filters. Mechanics, register now for your chance to win tickets for you and a workmate to the Bulldogs Demons game at Marvel Stadium Sunday, July 14. Enter now, iCanWin.com.au. And don't worry, there'll be plenty of food and beverages under the bonnet. Mechanics Day. Enter now, iCanWin.com.au.
Mate, you finally going to build that man cave out the back?
Yeah, sure am. Just on the Robot Building Supplies website now.
What do they sell?
Everything I need to build the best man cave a bloke ever hid from his family in. Steel wall sheeting, corrie sheeting, purlins, steel, insulation, Rio mesh, bolts and screws. I can order it on the website and get it all delivered.
Save time and money with Robot. Notting Hill, Sunshine, Preston, Dramana, Pakenham, Coldstream and Darnham. Call 1300-GO-ROBOT or order at robotbuildingsupplies.com.au.
ROBOT, Robot Building Supplies.
30 seconds.
Yeah, 30 seconds.
Bully footy scarf and suspend your gym membership. Now you're all set to survive the chilly season. It's time to get the whole house prepped by hooking up your cooking, hot water and heat with natural gas. Getting gas in every room is easy, and with our rebates it's often free. So grab your hot chockey, settle into your cosy cocoon and love winter. Search Australian gas networks to find out how much you could save.
Australia v South Africa live tonight on...
Okay, here we go with the intro.
Here we go.
Let's head back and go local.
Your mic's back on now. Go.
Yes, welcome back out to Coldstream Reserve. It is the Cougars comfortably at half-time over Sylvan, 8-5-53, leading Sylvan 4-4-28. Just recapping those goal kickers for Coldstream. Dean Cicera's booted 5 majors in the first half. Adam Dale has 1, Mackenzie 1 and Witchell 1. While for Sylvan, Lynch has 2 majors and Lee Kimpton and Matteo D'Alfonso round out the goal kickers. But now let's head to Clint Stanaway to bring us up to date with all in the world of news and sport.
Yeah, let's do it. Thanks so much. And making news this afternoon, another 7.1 magnitude earthquake has struck California, sending tremors through sports stadiums. Detectives are searching for a vehicle after a senior constable suffered serious head injuries during a police car ramming in Sunbury. Killer hit-run driver Denise Need is demanding a shorter sentence in return for his surrender to Australia. Also, we'll have the latest sport for you. The Bombers and Swans locked in what is a real struggle at the G. The Suns getting spanked by the Tigers. We'll have all the wash-up to that one. Plus, live Wimbledon. Ash Barty takes aim at the round of 16. And Warner and Smith preparing to face South Africa for the first time since Sandpapergate. That's all coming up in the News at 6.
Stellar job by Clint Stanaway from Channel 9 News. Make sure you tune in at 6 nightly on Channel 9. Let's head to Steve White now in the Score Centre with all those important around-the-ground scores.
Yeah, thanks, Dan. Starting with Premier Division, Blackburn 6-6-42, leading South Croydon 4-10-32. These are all half-time scores. Rowville 5-4-34, lead Doncaster 4-5-29. Noble Park 4-4-28, lead Norwood 2-2-14. Baldwin 12-7-79 lead North Ringwood 3-4-22, and Vermont 9-6-60 leading Montrose 2-5-17. To Division 1, East Ringwood 4-1-25 lead Lilydale 2-5-17. Knox 6-12-48 lead Bayswater 5-8-38. Upper Ferntree Gully 8-3-51 lead Wanturna South 3-5-23. Don't have a score for Croydon or Park Orchards as of yet. And in the last game in Division 1, Doncaster East 6-1-37 lead Mullerall Bark 4-5-29. In Division 2, the Basin 9-6-60 trail Mitcham 10-4-64. Mulgrave 8-3-51 trail Ringwood 12-2-74. Boronia 5-6-36 lead Scoresby 2-3-15. In Division 3, Waverley Blues 7-6-48 lead Ferntree Gully 3-7-25. South Belgrave 16-10-106 leading Donvale 4-7-31. That's in the fourth quarter, not the first. Warrandyte 10-4-64 lead Churnside Park 4-4-28. At Glen Waverley Hawks 2-4-16 trail Whitehorse Pioneers 6-6-42. And that's all the scores at half time.
Very nicely done by you there, Steve White. And if you are out at a game, don't forget to tweet us at Footy EFL with all those important around the ground scores. But huge clash happening out here at Coldstream Reserve. 25-point margin in favour of the Cougars at half time. Brett Davidson, give us your thoughts on the game. It's ebbed and flowed in parts. The first quarter was very high octane footy by both sides. They traded goals at one point, but that second term, Coldstream able to take advantage and go into half time with a pretty handy lead.
Yeah, look, it certainly helps when you've got a forward like Cecilia who's able to get good space. And one of the things that we talked about was that Coldstream's use of the football when they go inside forward 50 has certainly been a lot better than Sylvan's. They've been able to come in from the closed side of the ground, been able to open up space on what we would normally call the old fat side of the ground, and have been able to hit some targets quite easy and 20 and 30 metres out. So the difference, Sylvan have had no real, I suppose, structure or system in bringing the ball forward. They've just worked it forward, scrambled it forward, and have been able to get all their scores through probably lucky kicks inside the forward 50. So one of the areas they really need to work on is obviously their contested work at centre bounces. They're being killed on the clearances there. They need to get the ball into their forward 50. They need to open up and get some separation with their forwards, and they need to slow down and lower their eyes to hit some of those targets in the forward line. But Coldstream, if they continue to work the ball through the middle like they've been able to do, could come out and score a big win if they are allowed to do what they did in that second quarter.
Penelope Knight, you've been at boundary side for car sales. You've seen all the action unfold up close and personal. How have you seen the first half?
Oh, look, I don't believe the second quarter there really reflected, I guess the intensity didn't reflect the score. It felt like that probably Sylvan really should have capitalised in the first 10 minutes there when they really held capture of that play. They just seemed to slightly, obviously, not hit their targets and going through, but the way that Coldstream set up their wall coming out of defence and keeping it in their forward 50 is phenomenal. So that's obviously, the ball pinging back out, coming back in, they're really holding, that state of play, and they're actually converting, which is, you're seeing that pressure sort of rise, especially on the sideline. The intensity's there. The Coldstream boys are just going out and they're ready to take this win, and you can tell.
Make sure you keep your dial locked to 1377 SEN Plus. All the second half action coming up right after this.
SEN Footy streaming live and exclusively on the all-new SEN app.
The biggest
Clear 4 minutes.
Thanks,
CC Cricket World Cup. And with Australia locked into the semi-finals, we take on South Africa. Don't miss a minute of the action tonight, live on the SEN app on our dedicated World Cup Now channel. Plus, every ball live straight after the footy. The 2019 ICC Cricket World Cup for Simmons Homes, building quality, affordable homes since 1949. And the Great Peter Jackson 60% off sale, now on.
Hello, I'm Peter Hitchener. 9 News invites you to join our team nightly at 6 for Melbourne's #1 news. Tony Jones with the latest sport, including the footy, plus Lavinia Nixon's weather forecast. 9 News, proud supporter of the Eastern Football League.
If you're the guy whose job it is to order timber to the site, here's a fail-safe guide to not getting yourself fired. Step 1, use Coldstream Timber. Step 2, see Step 1. When you use Coldstream Timber, you'll never run out of timber because whatever you're building, Coldstream Timber and Hardware can organise same-day delivery of timber, framing, doors, decking, hardware, insulation, flooring and more. You'll never run out of timber with Coldstream Timber and Hardware. Maroondah Highway, Coldstream. Coldstreamtimber.com.au. Conditions apply.
Do you love the sound of this? What about this? Now, combine the two and enter to be a part of Mechanics Day at Marvel Stadium. Thanks to Penrite Oil, Bendix Brakes and Ryco Filters. Mechanics, register now for your chance to win tickets for you and a workmate to the Bulldogs Demons game at Marvel Stadium Sunday, July 14. Enter now, iCanWin.com.au. And don't worry, there'll be plenty of food and beverages under the bonnet. Mechanics Day. Enter now, iCanWin.com.au.
From where you are to the game. From the game back to where you were. Get there with Scooty. Melbourne's first motor scooter rideshare service is here. More nimble, more affordable. Scooty is the new, safe, greener, easier way to zip your way through inner city peak hour. Next time you're out and about, jump on the back of a Scooty. Download the Scooty app and book a ride.
Hello. Concrete Fusion is the very latest range of 2019 National Floor tiles to take the market by storm. And National Tiles have gate-crashed the market on this all-new range of $40 floor tiles at an unbeatable $19.95. Yes, that's right. The all-new $40 Concrete Fusion National Floor tiles at an introductory price of just $19.95 per metre. Available in-store now or shop online 24/7 at nationaltiles.com.au.
Tyre Power Buying Power gives you the power to buy better during their best buys on big brand sale. Like this best buy on Falcon tyres. Buy 3 and get 1 free on a great range of Falcon Wild Peak 4-wheel drive tyres. Plus more best buys on big brands at Tyre Power. CanStar Blues Customer Satisfaction Award winner again. Tyre Power's best buys on big brand sale is on now. Visit tyrepower.com.au to view or call 13 21 91 for your local owner operator.
Stock up on soup, pull out your woolly footy scarf and suspend your gym membership. Now you're all set to survive the chilly season.
40 seconds.
Hooking up your cooking, hot water and heat with natural gas. Getting gas in every room is easy, and with our rebates it's often free. So grab your hot chockey, settle into your cosy cocoon and love winter. Search Australian gas networks to find out how much you could save.
Impress clients, friends and colleagues with a premium experience at the MCG. Whether it's your own private suite or a table in a premium space, enjoy award-winning catering and premium beverages at Melbourne's biggest sporting events. mcg.org.au/premium.
The award-winning Crunch Time this morning from 11 on SE.
Okay, here we go.
Back and go local.
Put your mics on now.
So welcome back out to Coldstream Reserve for the big Division 4 clash. We're just underway in the final term as the Cougars go forward once again. Sasia gives the handball off to Wagner, who pops it inside forward 50. Kick was a bit short there for Sasia, who dives in once again, wrapped up in the tackle there by Georgiou, and the umpire calls for it. So it's 8-5-53 Coldstream, leading Sylvan 4-4-28 on the Eastland scoreboard. And this game in big danger of being blown apart. Opening 5 minutes of this term crucial for Sylvan. Tap was won down there by the Cats. And it's looking like going nowhere. Wagner wraps his opponent up in the tackle and we'll see a ball up inside 50 for Coldstream. So the Rucks go at it once again. No one got the tap down on that occasion. Bursting through there was Hampton. Just trying to rally his side out, but the umpire has called out a free kick. It's going to go the way of Coldstream. Not sure what that one was for. But they'll have another shot on goal and a crucial kick coming up in the context of this game.
I think it was for around the neck, maybe a late-ish tackle, but one of those ones that was pretty hard to see.
So Batten Leach to line up. He's been instrumental today for the Cougars. Set up a number of goals for his side as he comes in, kicks from a fair way out, and that never looked like registering a score. Out of bounds on the full. Helicopter type kick.
I was going to say, if anyone wants to catch a helicopter, they can get on the end of one of Batten Leach's. That was... oh my goodness.
So Giorgio
on the left boot, winds up, kicks it out towards the half back line. In the front spot there was Schmidt at the fall of the ball. That was okay. D'Alfonso got it out, just riding the boundary line, barging his way through. Dan Gordon, who's had a solid first half, sees it over the boundary line and out of bounds, right in front of the Cats bench, right in front of the broadcast position out here. 1377 SEN Plus all afternoon, right through till 6 p.m. Keep us up to date at Footy EFL if you're around the grounds today. At the fall of the ball, it was nicely done there by Price. Got it away to Verstegen. Inside forward 50, a big fly by Hampton over the back. Cecile laid a strong tackle, picked up by Hampton for Sylvan. His kick was smothered, still lingering around that half forward line for Coldstream on hands and knees, missing. Just got it out in the nick of time. Hewitt did well for Sylvan on the left boot, kicks it out towards the wing position. In the front spot in position A, Lee Kimpton, who kicked the first goal of the afternoon, goes up towards the half forward line. He pushed it wide. He was looking for Smith. Will he keep it in? Boundary line. The paint beats all players, and over she goes for a boundary throw in.
That's not the space to go. I don't understand why they're leading to that space. They've not looked inside at all, Sylvan. They've got to look inside. They've got to look at switching. They've got to look at going through the middle, not pushing out sideways all the time.
Well, a very shallow throw in. The umpire said it was okay. Gordon got boot to ball, thumped it every bit of 40 metres, and over the boundary line she goes. Sun-drenched Coldstream reserve out here today. 53 plays 28. Get down here if you're in the area. Third versus fifth. Home side leading this clash. The umpire throws it in. Barging his way through was Fisher. Did pretty well then, the big man on the right boot, but kicked it out of bounds on the full to boot. The fancy yellow boots today too, Fisher. The ball will come back into play, this time through Josh Misson, who wastes no time either. Little short kick. It was just within the distance range. Found Craig, who just pokes it back over the top. That was okay. Misson takes the mark, so we'll get another go at it. They're inching their way forward, up towards the half-forward line now. The Coldstream Football Club. Cecilia at the back spot. Dale was in there as well. Stolen there by Fisher for the Cats. Got the handball back. Giorgio, he worked himself out of a phone booth. Just got the handball away in the nick of time. Got it away to Jones. Got it to Fisher on the left boot. They've muscled themselves out of a bit of trouble here, but the kick hasn't hit the target. And now it's the Cougars through Verstegen inside forward 50, but it's been chopped off there by Hampton on the right boot out towards the wing position, and this might be a goer here on the left boot. Here's Trent Giorgio up towards the half forward line. Nicely done there by Smith. Got the handball away. Here's Deitzel on the right boot. Deitzel from 45 metres. That's the start that the Cats wanted. 5 minutes tick over on the Eastland scoreboard here in the third term. They called the premiership quarter. They needed the first one, Sylvan, and they got it. 5-4-34. They trailed Coldstream 8-5-53.
Again, it was a goal against the run of play, and they went down the wrong side of the ground, but they managed to straighten up with good run and receive handballs. That's a key, was the turnover in the middle there. It was a poor kick by Coldstream, turned over, and they were able to utilise and capitalise on that poor bit of play, and now they're back in the game. So, you know, it's only 19 points.
So the Cats still alive here at Coldstream Reserve after a strong second term by Coldstream, where they ran away with it, but they go back in the middle now. Kick out towards the wing. Doesn't really go anywhere, and the Cats look to pounce on this opportunity. Giorgio, kick up towards half forward, hits his teammate there on the chest in Schmidt, wheels around, puts it inside forward 50 up towards the top of the square. Not brought down there by the Coldstream man, who's brought down there by that man in Dietzel, who just kicked that last goal to keep the Cats alive. As we mentioned, 19 points the difference on the Eastland scoreboard. 6 minutes gone, third term. Rucks go at it. They win it down through Gordon here, Coldstream, but kick around the corner by Lynch. How will this one go? And that's wide. Through for a minor score. Or was it out of bounds on the full? Mm-hmm. Out of bounds on the full. So it's going to be taken by Verstegen in the back pocket. Let's go to Steve White in the score centre.
Forest Hill 16-7-103, lead Nunawading 5-3-33.
Well, old mate couldn't get it over the fence there, and didn't want. And he went, instead of going after it again, he went back for the can.
Yeah. Priorities in order here at Coldstream. So Verstegen deep in the back pocket, roosts it out of defence, looking for Gordon. Oh, beautiful chest mark taken by Dan Gordon. He's got such a presence around the ground. Then looks inboard, finds Mackenzie. Mackenzie works it towards centre half back, Witchell. Wheels around, goes to the wide side of the ground, and now they transition nicely through Walsh up towards half forward.
Nice.
Mark taken there by Carrigan, who just thumps it on the boot, high up and under kick, inside forward 50. Mark taken there by Georgiou, and he's pushed over after the fact there by Dale. Umpire said that was okay.
He's playing well, Georgiou.
He is. This quarter, he's really playing as that loose swing man.
So his kick was a wobbler, but it works out okay for Hewitt, who bursts his way down the wing. They go inside forward 50. The Cats in position A. There was Schmidt, unable to take the mark, spilt it at the last moment. Kimpton just kicks it off the ground, and Price at the bottom of the pack, wrapped up in the tackle by Trent Martin. And Cats players just appealing for the free kick there. The umpire will call for the ball. They've looked hot in this early stages of the third term, Davo.
They have, and they're moving the ball a little bit quicker into their forward line, which is really important.
So Gordon just fists it over the boundary line. Rather, it's kept in, and now out of bounds. So Thomas sees it over the boundary line.
They've got to see if they can look inside here from go over the back of the pack and look inside to see if they can run the ball into the forward 50 from here.
Well, they're 35 metres out from goal, the Sylvan side. Pye throws it in. It was Schmidt versus Gordon. It was shallow. Gordon goes after it again, and so too in there was Price. Got the handball away out towards the wing position. Underneath it there was Fisher. So Josh Fisher for Sylvan. Timely mark, and he'll kick it straight back into that forward line. It was a 3-on-1 situation that time. Gordon had the front spot. It was knocked away from him. Price on at the fall of the ball, got it away to Carrigan, who scooted it away out there to Koga, looped it over the top. Here's Griffin now. He's off to the races. Will he have a bounce? No. On the right boot, hugs the boundary line out towards that wing position. They might work themselves into the middle of the ground here, where Sasseer's the first player to meet it. He had 3 Sylvan Cats to beat. Straight through the arms there of Carrigan. Goes after it again. Handball was a little bit smothered. Batten Leach, the hyphen, just got the handball away in the nick of time. Was it a throw? It was, and he's been pinged for it. Free kick to Sylvan in the middle of Coldstream Reserve, as they might elect to go wide here. It's got to hit the target. Schmidt was in there, waited for it, danced around on the left boot, inside forward 50, getting down low there was Kimpton. It just didn't have enough carry there. Schmidt gives a strong tackle there on Price. He had support in Dietzel, and the umpire said all was fair. Let's have a ball up just inside the forward arc for the Sylvan Cats.
Well, they've been able to get it in there and run it through the middle a little bit better at the moment, so that's good to see with Sylvan.
Let's go to Steve White High.
Ballin 13-7-85 leading North Ringwood 5-4-34.
Ball hits the deck east, came out towards Koga through his legs. Little scrambly kick out of the danger zone in the front spot there. Lockie Hampton takes the mark. Now for Sylvan, they're 2 kicks from home. He's going to kick it to the hot spot. 25 metres out from goal. The big pack forms. Who was going to be front and centre that time? Price was in there. Little kick by Martin around the body. Bonfadini, I should say. Stab around the body by Kempton as he put it through. That's his second. That is the second for Sylvan in this third term, and they are creeping very close now. Margin back to 13 points. 10 minutes gone on the Eastland scoreboard. 53-40.
Bonfadini worked really hard there in the front and centre to get that ball forward. And look, it's just been sheer weight of numbers at the moment. They're just getting the ball inside their forward 50, and they're finally putting it in dangerous positions. I still want their small forwards to work a little bit harder in those front and centre areas, but they've now hit the scoreboard twice, and they're putting scoreboard pressure back onto Coldstream.
So this game lifted in intensity in the opening 10.5 minutes of the third term.
How's your blowout going?
Well, credit to the Cats, they were in danger of that, and they've since responded as we're back in the middle. Carrigan picks it up, gathers, and he'll send the Cougars long inside forward 50. But Georgiou, once again, how many times has he done that today? Getting back, wobbler of a kick out towards half back. It works out okay though. Emmett works it down the wing, strong in front in the front position there as the Cats look to work their way forward.
Been good, Mundos.
So Mundos up towards half forward. They're outnumbered here, Sylvan, and a number of Coldstream players around, but they look to work it out here. The Cats, this is Dietzel out wide. Emmett once again fumbled the footy, and it sees the boundary line. 13 points of difference, 11.5 gone. Coldstream 53 playing Sylvan 40.
They've just got to get somebody to work front and centre. They've got no one bar their bigs down in the forward half at the moment.
So the ball tossed back into play. Kastreba winning it down. Emmett Tried to barge his way through, but the umpire calls for the ball.
Let's go around the grounds on the score centre with Steve White.
Knox 8-16-64, lead Bayswater 6-9-45.
Oh, Knox keeping their season well and truly alive. Here's Mundos again, kicks it towards the hot spot. It just fell short. Well done there by Dan Verstegen, who was in the front spot, and himself a 25-metre penalty to boot as well. So he'll come out towards the centre-half back line and wants to waste no time either as he kicks the ball in towards the middle of the ground, and there'll be another 25-metre penalty. Very undisciplined play here by the Cats as Carrigan is going to come inside forward 50 now. Almost looked like he was going to run on with it, was Darcy, but he'll go back and probably have a ping. He'll kick from just inside the paint of 50. Captain's goal needed here.
So really, if he kicks this goal, it's been through two undisciplined 25-metre penalties. Really disappointing for the Sylvan side after they've just kicked a goal.
And on any other given ground, he'd probably only be 20 out now, but it is at Coldstream. He sets sail for goal. He just knows where the big sticks are. He's done that plenty of time at training and in matches. The co-skipper gets the answer, the goal that Coldstream needed, that breathing space. He's out there again, back to 19 points, 13 minutes gone on the Eastland scoreboard, third term, 59-40.
As you'd say, that's where it's really hard. Coaching staff get really disappointed when you've got control of the game, you've suddenly got momentum, and you give it away through two really poor, undisciplined pieces of play.
So they've reeled in a 25-point half-time deficit, Sylvan, and now suddenly it's back out to 19 points after they started the quarter in red-hot fashion. So back in the middle here at Coldstream Reserve. They win the tap down, the Cats through Kostreba. Ball up once again in the middle. So the Rucks go at it again. Kostreba won a number of taps down for his side today.
Again.
Been good in the ruck. And now the Cats at half forward. Mundos sends it up towards the top of the square. What can they muster up? Kimpton juggles the mark. Beautifully done. And Lee Kimpton has already got 2 goals to his name. Has the opportunity to add a third here. But he'll be put round on the angle.
And that's what happens when you get the ball in quickly. Got an opportunity. That was good work from Trent Martin down there, actually blocking the opposition players out of that contest.
So Lee Kimpton, handy inclusion into the Sylvan side this season. 2 goals to his name today, as I mentioned. Can he make it a third? To get Sylvan back within 13 points. He comes in, kicks an absolute shocker off the boot, out of bounds on the full. And that's a missed opportunity for the Cats.
And really, that's the second time now. They've had Brown, who's missed a shot from 25 directly in front, and now Kimpton, who is usually a very good kick. That's a terrible let-off then for Coldstream.
Well, he'll get another opportunity, though, because he takes it from the stoppage, kicks it to the hot spot, kicks it right towards the line, towards Martin. There's a big pack formed, fisted through for another minor score. Every little bit counts in a close contest. 15 minutes tick over on the Eastland scoreboard. It's an 18-point ball game, 9-5 to 6-5. Coldstream to bring the ball back in now. Short passes on that, coughed it up again. Price has done it again, and this time it will be Trent Martin, the playing coach, who's going to have a ping from about 30 metres out directly in front. We saw Carrigan kick the captain's goal. Now we'll see the coach kick the coach's goal for the Sylvan Football Club to get to within 12 points. Leans over it, set sail for goal. It never looked like missing once it left the boot. Martin gets his first. Sylvan get their 7th, and the Eastland scoreboard now shows a 12-point margin, 47 to 59.
Well, you cannot afford to miss targets when you're kicking out short like that. And Daniel Price missed that target by 1.5 metres. And Lockie Craig has just looked at him and given him the death stare. So, some mistakes, and they've capitalised on their mistakes. Trent Martin gave away the first 25 in that last series of 25s. He's made up for it now, kicking a goal.
Let's go around the grounds with Steve White on the score centre.
Division 2, the Basin have pulled ahead of Mitcham, 10-6-66 to 10-5-65.
Good to see my roughie from EFL Insight.
Same.
May come to fruition as we're back in the middle now. The Cats bursting their way through. Oliver Hampton slams it on the boot. They go up towards centre half forward. Try to juggle it there was the Sylvan man, and there's been a whistle. Free kick going the way of the Cats.
What advantage could nearly have been made.
And Dietzel to take it. So crucial ball coming up here. Dietzel just pops it inside forward 50 into the pocket. No one able to take it. And they look to clear here, Coldstream now at half back, but beautifully intercepted there by D'Alfonso. Taken down in the tackle there by Sile, and he's won himself the free kick, Kane Sile, and he works it down the wing, scoreboard side. Faulkner, a long way from home. We'll just wait up for his best option now. Not a lot on, so he's just going to pop it down the wing. And that was an ordinary looking kick. Looking for Bonfordini, sort of intercepted at the last moment there, and now they look to go inside forward 50 through Walsh. Coldstream, can they mount another attack? Batten Leach flew for the mark, unable to take it, but they'll get another crack at it. Deacon wheels around, kicks gold, and he's nailed it. Deacon has put a buffer for the Coldstream side. They go to 10-5-65, Sylvan 47, and the margin back out to 18 points.
Tobin Brothers goal of the day contender right there. That was a sensational goal.
He did very, very well. He was outnumbered a couple of times, worked hard on the ground, was able to balance and kick the goal. So, again, a goal against the momentum, and they're able to do that at the moment, Coldstream. Whenever they feel like they're being threatened, they're able to kick that goal that gives them that little buffer each and every time.
Let's go around the grounds with Steve White on the score centre.
Noble Park 5-8-38, lead Norwood 5-7-37.
Oh, it's all happening. There's close games right around the eastern suburbs. If you go local for your football this afternoon, round 12 action in the Eastern Football League. 1377 SEN Plus all afternoon, right through till 6 p.m. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. And of course, around the globe, EFL.org.au. Can the Cats get the answer here in the middle of the ground, working themselves forward? It'll kick off the ground. Good umpiring there just to call play on. Almost getting in the back there. Deitzel, umpire said all was fair. Let's have a ball up. Steve, more scores coming through.
Another close one. Murrelbach 5-9-39, lead Doncaster East 6-2-38.
It's all happening. Really good games everywhere at the moment as Oliver got the handball away. A lot of plays around this football. Who can get the clearance in the middle of the ground? Carrigan on the left boot. Inside forward 50. Can Coldstream get a couple in a row? No, they cannot. Standing strong. Martin takes the mark. There's a Bonfordini down there. Kick goes out towards the broadcast position. Just kept alive that time. Emmett did really well over the top of him. Jai Deacon, who kicked the last goal. An absolute perler to boot. And we'll have a ball up just inside the paint. Scoot back a couple of metres. Pye throws it up now. Fisher in the front spot. Got the palm down. Deacon was in there. Quickly wrapped up, and we'll do it all again. Let's go to Steve White around the grounds.
Warrandyte 10-4-64, lead Churnside Park 4-4-28.
The umpire throws it up. Fisher, front spot over the top of him. Walsh, eventually over the boundary line and out. We'll have a boundary throw in. Another scores. Keep them coming, Stephen.
I have a final score from South Belgrave. South Belgrave 24-16-160, defeated Donvale 4-7-31.
A regulation win for the South Belgrave Saints. It's going to take some sort of stopping for them to even drop a game. They might go the clean sweep this year in 2019 from the stoppage. Ball's going to hit the deck. I'm handing over to Dan. He'll get the clearance for us, no doubt.
So 65 plays 47. We've just ticked into time on third term here at Coldstream Reserve on the Eastland scoreboard. Cougars win the tap. Price knocked to ground. Wore the knock very, very well though as the Cougars through a sile go inside forward 50 looking for Cecere. Cruel bounce and Batten Leach applying the pressure there. Cecere though once again, beautiful centering ball. Can they take advantage? No, they can't. Knocked on though, and now the Cats on the last line of defence under a fair bit of pressure. They've got loose men everywhere though, and they'll look to clear now. Hampton worked his way down the wing, but the kick was chopped off there by Griffin. So Griffin will reset for the Cougars. Wobbler of a kick. Mackenzie handballs it off to Verstegen. They go inside forward 50. They've got the numbers here, Coldstream, but bursting through there was Giorgio again. Has a bounce. He's got a paddock to work with and just roosts it long up towards half forward, looking for Lee Kempton. Wheels around Kempton. Pops it inside forward 50. Bouncing ball. No one able to take it. It's all Coldstream back home there. Verstegen tripped over at the last moment and Kempton gets another go at it. Just got rid of it in time. Up towards the top of the goal square. Fist from behind from Koga. And Koga just gets the handball out to Walsh. Walsh works it out, looking for Craig. Craig sells a bit of candy. They're brought down in the tackle by Mundos. Beautifully done there by Mundos.
He's had some sort of a third term, Mundos, and that's 25 metres as well.
He's a bit stiff. Look, he goes to give it up, and because he knows he's given it away, and it's just slipped out of his hands. He goes, "Oh, I better go and give it." Oh no!
So Mundos tumbles the kick inside forward 50.
Shocker.
And that was a shocker of a kick. So Coldstream will look to reset from here. Another opportunity gone, begging for the Cats. Really got to seize on that when they've got the momentum. Kick up towards the wing. Dale flew for the mark. Fist from behind.
Oh, Chad, you little beauty. You put a jumper on the man. Sensational grab there. Steve White around the grounds on the score centre.
Waverley Blues 9-7-61 lead Ferntree Gully 4-9-33.
He actually turned to his board man and asked him to put a stat down for that one.
Had a good smile on his face as well. Ball comes back in now. We're going to see another stoppage. 23 minutes tick over.
I mean, the thing with Sylvan, they had the football and they went out to that pocket again instead of putting it into a dangerous position. This quarter, you would have thought they would have learned when they've done that each time they've been good.
Craig, snap around the body, gained a valuable 30 metres over the boundary line. It goes and out. Boundary throw-in. Right in front of us here in the broadcast position, right underneath Leroy Green from LK LM Media, the best in the business. Score centre around the ground, Steve White.
The Basin 11-6-72 lead Mitcham 10-5-65.
Throws it in. Fisher front spot over the back there. Walsh tried to get a fingertip. Fisher had a fresh air shot. Charging through was Craig. Just basically handed it to Verstegen, who got it away to Griffin. They've linked up okay here. Coldstream up towards the half forward line. That man again. He's doing fantastically across there. The general, Trent Georgiou. For Silvan now, it kicks it across the face. It was a risky one. It had to sit up okay there for Strawhair, who had the pace. He trapped it on the first bounce, on the right boot, in towards the middle of the ground. A foot race in shoes. Dale got the handball away for Stegan. He's been good. The old 1-2. They're 2 kicks from home. Going to kick it towards the hot spot. Got to kick it towards the hyphen. Batten Leach. It was knocked away from him. Charging through there was Deacon. Almost got the tackle on, but Sylvan with poise out of that danger zone. Out towards the Mundos direction in the front spot there. Austin McInerney over the boundary line. It goes for a boundary throw-in.
They need to get the ball in to Giorgio's hands as often as they can. I don't mind there wasn't a great kick. He's switching the football and opening up the game, which is really important.
18 points the margin in the shadows of three-quarter time on the Eastland scoreboard. Craig gathered it from the stoppage and slammed it inside forward 50, but the umpire says bring it back. It's going to be a free kick.
Do you throw Giorgio up forward, given that he's just reading the football really well at the moment? Because there are points across that half-forward line that they're falling apart. He could be that type of player, that spark.
Or you put him on a wing.
So Walsh sends it inside forward 50 to the top of the square. Batten Leach, snap around the body, he was smothered. Gives it off to Craig. Can he kick a captain's goal? Slams it on the boot in the direction of Dale, who leads the charge. Burns off one, burns off two, checkside kick. He's kicked the goal! Tobin Brothers goal of the day contender, and Coldstream building a lead in the shadows of three-quarter time. Adam Dale has 2 goals to his name, burning off 2 Sylvan defenders to kick an absolute classic goal.
That was amazing. That was the Titanic turning and breaking through 2 small icebergs and then kicking he didn't even get onto the left. He's gone and kicked a banana. It was a sensational goal. And he's been really good up forward. He's been a great target. He's brought the ball to ground and he's worked so hard when he's been around the contest.
Well, it was turning back the clock as well. That was a sensational goal. Clubhouse leader is Adam Dale as the handy 4-goal lead comes back into play again for Coldstream as we're in the middle of the ground now, hitting the deck with Schmidt. He might have copped one high. Umpire said he did, so been able to stay well and truly within range here, Sylvan, in this third term. The kick went out towards Mundos. He had to wait for it, so he was under a bit of pressure as the ball scoots towards the boundary line and out of bounds it goes.
So why would you kick sideways when you can see the scoreboard? You know it's late in the quarter. You've got to put it in a dangerous position. It's kicked it 40 metres sideways to no one.
There is no clock on the scoreboard, so he might not know how long's left as Carrigan kicks it inside forward 50. Another goal just might might shut the gates here as Bonfadini, he coughed it up. Dale barged his way through. He might go from the goal at 8 to the goal assist. They're linking up around the body by Anthony Faulkner, and that might just be that extra little nail that they needed. The breathing space is well and truly there now. Anthony Faulkner kicks his first goal, coming across from the Mitcham Football Club to play with Coldstream, and a handy goal kicker at that. And as we hit the 27-minute mark of this third term, we're out to a 5-goal buffer. Some more around the ground scores coming through on the score centre.
Yes, Baldwin, 16-8, 104, lead North Ringwood, 5-5, 35.
Well, that again was great play from Dale. Really hard bullocking play. Picked the football up in a tight contest, got the hands out. Really good scrambling goal. But it all came about because the Sylvan player kicked the ball sideways, created a contest. The ball then got rebounded and they've kicked a goal. If he'd gone forward, he was 80 metres out of the area. So just disappointing with the way they've gone, their thought processes.
Well, have they got any juice left? Sylvan, suddenly now they're 5 goals down. Mackenzie gives the handball off and they go inside forward 50 again. Coldstream, ugly looking bounce, but it works out all right. They work their way inside forward 50 in the Sasir direction. Cruel bounce. Boundary line beats all comers. Ball will be tossed in, and it's Coldstream 12-5, 77, leading Sylvan 7-5, 47. 28 minutes gone, third term.
Around the grounds with Steve White.
A couple of three-quarter time scores. Bayswater, 7-12, 54. Trail Knox, 9-16, 70.
So ball toss back into play. Griffin scrambles a kick to no one in particular, and met heavily there on that occasion. I think that might have been Deacon.
Witchell.
So met heavily there, and he's won himself the free kick. Looks all right now that he knows that he's got the free kick.
That was a tap on below the shoulder.
That's he wins Best Actor.
I don't even think he was asking for it. He'd already fallen over.
Yeah, he was exhausted.
So Chris Witchell will line up. This for a 36-point lead, nearing three-quarter time for Coldstream. What a quarter it's been from them. Chris Witchell's already got a goal to his name today. He'll kick from just inside the paint. Unloads. Kick looks good off the boot. He's celebrating. He's kicked the goal. And Coldstream go to 13-5, 83. Sylvan 7-5, 47. 29 minutes gone on the Eastland scoreboard.
Look, they've really responded well. These last couple of goals have really hurt. You can see now Sylvan, they look tired. And Costreva in the ruck has won predominantly the majority of the knockouts, and yet none of the Sylvan mids have been able to read him well enough. The Coldstream players have worked hard in that area, have run and spread, and they've just put enough forward line pressure on the defensive players of Sylvan to be able to score.
Steve White around the grounds on the score centre.
Yeah, three-quarter time. It's Lilydale. Hold on. Just go back to you in a second.
Umpire throws it up. Another chance for Coldstream through Dan Gordon. Got the quick handball away. Fisher trapped it. Got boot to ball up towards the half-forward line. It always just seems like there's so many Cougars lingering around there. Pack of cats they are as the kick goes in towards the middle. And a short pass has been marked by Mackenzie. Painted right arm, kicks it up towards the half-forward line. It was a beautiful kick as well. Faulkner out in front. Kicked a goal in this third turn now. Winds around as the siren sounds in towards the Giorgio direction. It announces three-quarter time out here at Coldstream Reserve, and a very, very handy 6-goal lead to the Cougars over the Cats at three-quarter time. It was almost a quarter of two halves there. Sylvan dominating probably the first 15 minutes. Couldn't get the score on the board, but definitely clawed back that lead. Then junk time goals, but not even time on goals for the Coldstream Football Club saw them get themselves their biggest lead of the match today. 13-5, 83. They lead to Sylvan 7-5, 47. The major goal kickers on the ground. Dean Sasir, he kicked 5 first half goals, was kept goalless in that term, but is the major goal kicker. 2 goals to Adam Dale, including the goal of the day clubhouse leader, and Chris Witchell also has 2. While for Sylvan, 2 goals to Kempton and Lachlan Lynch. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. 1377 SEN Plus right through to 6 p.m. today. AFL.org.au around the globe, and simulcast 98.1 Radio Eastern. 3 down, 1 to go. We can't wait. We'll be back right after this.
Australia v South Africa live tonight on. And you clear 4 minutes.
Thanks, mate.
task of nominating the player of the next decade?
I'm going for the boy English at the Western Bulldogs.
Tim English? Tim English.
I think he's Brodie Grundy 2 years away. I love this kid's skill. He's not strong enough in the ruck contest, but his hands are great. He's a good thinker. He uses the ball well. I reckon he's going to be a star.
For Melbourne Airport Valet, book 4 days online from $140. Save on the greatest luxury safari adventures. abercrombiekent.com.au. Back Monday from 6.
Only 19 shots from 53 inside 50s, down on clearances and can't lay a tackle. What was the seniors coach going to do? Jono surprised himself and everyone else. The spray he gave the boys at halftime worked. Well, he did finish it by saying he'd shout them a post-game feed and frothies at Eastland if they won. For all of life and footy's little moments, there's Eastland, proud sponsors of the EFL. Eastland, live real.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. National Tiles now supply and install all their timber, hybrid and laminate flooring. Yes, National Tiles do it all for you. Measure, quote, supply and install all National Tiles timber, laminate and hybrid flooring. From just $1,300 fully installed for an average 26 square metre laminate living room floor, fully supplied and installed. Only at National Tiles.
Hello, I'm Peter Hitchener. 9 News invites you to join our team nightly at 6 for Melbourne's #1 news. Tony Jones with the latest sport, including the footy, plus Lavinia Nixon's weather forecast. 9 News, proud supporter of the Eastern Football League.
Do you love the sound of this? What about this? Now, combine the two. And enter to be a part of Mechanics Day at Marvel Stadium. Thanks to Penrite Oil, Bendix Brakes and Ryco Filters. Mechanics, register now for your chance to win tickets for you and a workmate to the Bulldogs Demons game at Marvel Stadium Sunday, July 14. Enter now, icanwin.com.au. And don't worry, there'll be plenty of food and beverages under the bonnet. Mechanics Day. Enter now, icanwin.com.au.
Do you hold a current full Victorian motorcycle or scooter licence and want to earn some extra cash? Scooty. Melbourne's new two-wheel taxi service is here. And right now, Scooty is looking for motor scooter drivers to beat Melbourne's traffic congestion and get people to the game, the gig or the meeting. Sign up at scooty.com.au today and turn your motor scooter into a money-making machine. Scooty. Delivering people.
ROBOT, Robot Building Supplies.
One could argue that a head coach will never be replaced by a robot. Then again,
Do something, don't think, do.
Robot Building Supplies has everything. Steel, sleepers, wire mesh.
Robots got it.
Roofing and timber.
Robots got it.
Be the winning team on site. For your building supplies, order at robotbuildingsupplies.com.au or call 1300-GO-ROBOT. You'll speak with a real human.
ROBOT, Robot Building Supplies.
Tyre Power Buying Power gives you the power to buy better during their best buys on big brand sale. Like this best buy on Falcon tyres. Buy 3 and get 1 free on a great range of Falcon Wild Peak 4-wheel drive tyres. Plus more best buys on big brands at Tyre Power. CanStar Blues Customer Satisfaction Award.
30 seconds.
Best buys on big brand sale is on now. Visit tyrepower.com.au to view or call 13 21 91 for your local owner operator.
Impress clients, friends and colleagues with a premium experience at the MCG. Whether it's your own private suite or a table in a premium space, enjoy award-winning catering and premium beverages at Melbourne's biggest sporting events. mcg.org.au/premium.
SEN Footy streaming live and...
Okay, here we go.
Andrew?
Putting your mics back on now.
Yes, welcome back out to Coldstream.
Stand by and go.
Yes, welcome back out to Coldstream Reserve. Huge Division 4 clash out here, 3rd versus 5th. It is Coldstream by 36 points at the final change. Let's head down to Penelope Knight for car sales.
Yeah, I'm just here with Chad. Look, that was a fantastic third quarter there, grand final quarter. What was it the boys did that got them across the line there?
Look, we were a bit slow early. We just matched their contested footy. They were strong there for a bit, but once we showed some composure, got the ball back in our hands, and just lowered our eyes going forward, we started to look dangerous. We just need to do the same thing now.
Brilliant. Thanks.
Thanks to Penelope Knight for car sales with the senior coach of the Coldstream Football Club, Chad Rogers, as the final term gets underway here. Dietzel, clever handball. Oliver spins around, sends the Cats inside forward 50. Flying for the mark there was Kimpton. Has he kicked a goal? He has. What a way to start the final term. And Sylvan go to 8-5-53. Coldstream 13-5-83. Margin back to an even 5 goals on the Eastland scoreboard.
That was smart play by Kimpton. He stayed at the back of the pack. Everybody else flew up. Ball. He read it well over the back and nice easy goal. But what happens when they get the ball, they handball and they kick it straight into the dangerous positions? They didn't go sideways. They won the contest at the coalface centre and were able to put the ball into a dangerous position.
3 goals now to Lee Kimpton. Has played well today for the Cats. And Sylvan, 8-5-53, trail Coldstream, 13-5-83. 1 minute gone, final term on the Eastland scoreboard. As we go back in the middle, they win the tap again, the Cats, but Gordon takes it and wrapped up in the tackle there by Oliver. The umpire calls for the ball once again.
And again, yeah, they are winning the tap. They've now got to make sure that they consolidate by getting the football out.
So Gordon and Fisher. Fisher wins it down. Craig just shovels a handball out, but it's going nowhere. And we'll see another ball up. Let's go around the grounds with Steve White.
Yes, a couple of three-quarter time scores. Blackburn 6-8-44, tied with South Croydon 5-14-44. Rowville 10-7-67, lead Doncaster 6-5-41.
Well, we said in the pre-game that clash between the Burners and the Dogs would be crucial, with South Croydon clinging to that 5th spot in the Premier Division. Price sends the Cougars inside forward 50. Carrigan, was he muscled out? He was. He's won himself the free kick as well. Thrown out of the contest according to the umpire. So Carrigan pops it inside forward 50 and hits Wagner on the chest. And a good opportunity here for the Cougars to reply.
Yeah, look, I think the defender was a little bit stiff then in losing that contest, but it was a beautiful kick from Carrigan. Magnificent and open space to lead into.
Well, that's why he's the Division 4 reigning senior best and fairest winner, Darcy Carrigan. What a player he continues to be in the Eastern Football League for Coldstream, as Wagner comes in to kick for goal. And he makes no mistake. Instant reply from Coldstream. 14-5-89 the Cougars. Sylvan 8-5-53. Margin back out to 36 points.
And that's what Coldstream have been able to do all day. Whenever Sylvan have mounted a bit of a charge, it looked like they might be coming back. Coldstream have been able to get the quick reply, and in most cases then have been able to go on and get 1 or 2 extras. So we'll see what happens here in the middle and see if Sylvan can make another reply and another charge.
Well, they've reeled in a lead 2 or 3 times already, the Cats. Can they do it again? Plenty of time to be able to do so. Mackenzie with the clearance for the Cougars up towards half forward. Mark taken strongly there by Witchell out in front. He's already kicked 2 goals in this game so far. Pops it up towards the pocket, looking for Cecile. Beautiful mark taken. So strong. Beautiful contested grab there by Dean Cecile, who kicked 5 goals in the first half. And he'll line up for goal number 6. What a game he's played today.
And that was a beautiful contested mark then, but he had separation, which is the difference. There was no chance for a second Sylvan defender to come over and play a 2-on-1.
So Dean Cecile right in front of the scoreboard, puts boot to ball, kick goes well across the face. Carrigan around the corner though, has he kicked the goal? He has! Darcy Carrigan, contender for the Tobin Brothers goal of the day. What a sensational goal that was. And gee, he read the flight of the ball beautifully, didn't he, Darcy Carrigan, over his shoulder, as opportunistic a goal as you'll ever see.
That's a beautiful goal, but I tell you what, when they look at the replay of that in their review on Tuesday night, Sylvan, they'll look and see that they had 5 players went up for that spoil. Not one of them stayed on the ground. Carrigan was the only one on the ground. The ball spilt to him. That's exactly what good small forwards do, and he's able to slot that one through. That was a very, very good goal.
Well, suddenly 4.5 minutes in to the final term now, and it's Coldstream by 42 points as they power towards victory. The third place side, Emmett Battles gets a handball out, but now Craig sends the Cougars up towards the forward 50 arc. Bouncing ball in front of Carrigan. Cruel bounce for him. Baton Leach trying to gather the footy, but shepherded out of it. Giorgio marched over the boundary line. Great tackle there by Carrigan. And receives a round of applause from the Coldstream coach's box.
Takes a fair bit to bring Giorgio down. He did a great job then.
So the ball to be tossed in smack bang on the wing here at Coldstream Reserve.
Let's go around the grounds with Steve White on the score centre.
Waverley Blues 11-7-73 lead Ferntree Gully 6-10-46.
Waverley Blues with a text from Gav Casey, a freakish goal in the early stages of that final term. Got him on standby if it gets nice and close. See how biased his Waverley Blues call might be in the last 5 minutes as it comes out now. Poor old Gav, give him a bit of a hard time there as Gordon got it out. There was a good handball there to Misson. Up towards the half-forward line, selling a bit of candy there was Craig. Just owned the football, owned the situation. Kick by Mackenzie was smothered at the crucial stage. Diving over the top of it, Oliver ducked into the tackle. Umpire said all was fair. And we'll have a ball up, and as we go around the grounds once again on the score centre.
East Burwood 24-10, 154. Lead Kilsyth, 1 behind.
Holy dooly. The umpire throws the ball up now. Gordon over the back, got the knockdown. Scooped upon that time by D'Alfonso. Up towards the half-forward line now for Sylvan out in front. Nicely done there by Kimpton, who's kicked 3 goals. He kicks it all the way. It might have all was that wrong and bounce at the top of the goal square. Nicely done there, though, by Schmidt, who was brought to ground in a strong tackle. Gone. Might be advantage paid here. McInerney gets the kick out wide, so they'll use the scoreboard side. Griffin on the right boot, kicks it out towards the wing position where Tyson McKenzie takes the easy mark. On the right boot, up towards the half-forward line. Dale out in front, good jukes. Scrambly kick, though, inside forward. 50, made Baton Leach work really hard for it. He'll get another go at it, Dale. Little handball out wide, back to Baton Leach, who was crunched upon by Deitzel. Umpire said, give it to me, boys. We'll have a ball up 45 metres out from the Coldstream goal line, currently leading this game by 42 points. 15-5, 95 to 8-5, 53. Dale with the easiest of knockouts this time. Who can get the clearing football? No one can. We'll have another restart.
A bit stiff, Sylvan. That ball kicked from Kimpton basically landed on the goal line and bounced at right angles, but you know,
you enjoyed it in the 2010 grand final, Davo.
So Dale takes it out of the ruck, high up and under kick. Taken there by Misson, who's brought to ground, and we'll see a ball up. 7.5 minutes gone, 42 points the difference on the Eastland scoreboard. Coldstream have just run away with it after starting the quarter in fine fashion. Deacon kicks around the corner. Interesting bounce. How's this one going to go? And on the last line of defence, Walker sees it over the boundary line and through for a minor score. Let's go to Steve White in the score centre.
Vermont 15-14, 104. Lead Montrose 3-7-25. And one more, Broville 10-7, 67. Lead Doncaster 6-5, 41.
So Georgiou to take it once again. Plays on as a bounce. Then kicks to half back. Tried to hit Hewitt up on the chest, but unable. He has another crack at it, Hewitt. And now the players just converge in. He's brought to ground. And now the Cats under siege, under a fair bit of pressure, but Emmett in space on the wing. Marks in front of Gordon. So Emmett just chips it down the line. Schmidt. And he's been put down after 25. He took the mark. And undisciplined play there by Thomas, 25 metres.
Got to still love how the fans call 50. It just comes natural. It comes natural, doesn't it?
It does.
Or if Ray bet 30.
So Schmidt up towards half forward. Price gathers. Carrigan just rushed the kick on the boot. Out of bounds on the full. So Mundos to take it.
It was in 1962.
Round the grounds on the score centre.
Doncaster East 8-4-52. Lead Mirralbark 6-11-47.
A little bit of a buffer there as the kick goes forward now for Sylvan. Can they keep the ball alive? They do so. Martin was in there, barged away. A little pirouette there by Schmidt, and ball went over the blue line, which is the boundary line today out here at Coldstream. Matchy with the club's colours as we see a few Bronx cheers. Little pats on the head as well. Loving the work by the under-19s and the Rezzies down in Ute Corner for the Coldstream Football Club as it comes out now. Emmett around the body. Had some good curl on that one. Underneath it was Kimpton in the front spot. He'll go after it again. A strong tackle over the back. That was really good play there by Austin McInerney. McInerney to not give away a free kick and to quickly wrap him up, and we'll have a ball up 20 metres out from ground at Footy EFL. Final scores are coming through in these last term across the Eastern Football League. Little fresh air shot that time, and over the boundary line it goes for another boundary throw in.
Tell you what, Kimpton's worked very, very hard in that forward line.
Around the ground, Steve White.
The Basin 13-7-85 lead Mitcham 11-6-72.
Oh, Dan, that little upset's looking all right at the moment as Gordon in the back spot. Still got a fingertip on it. Mundos was there for the Cats over the boundary line. It goes once again. Price will see it over.
This is exactly what Coldstream want. They don't mind if the ball gets around the boundary, gives you a little bit of a break, and Sylvan aren't hitting the scoreboard.
43 points is the margin.
So the ball tossed back into play. Fisher with the front position. Takes it out of the ruck, then it's brought down in the tackle. Holding the ball, says the umpire. Free kick going the way of Dan Gordon at half back.
I reckon the umpiring's been very good today. I'm just going to call that out.
So Gordon finds Craig, the skip, the co-captain, who looks inboard and finds McInerney, goes out wide, and now they're away here. Koga pops up towards Walsh at half forward, who's got plenty of time and space, and just goes inside forward 50, but that was a shocking kick. Giorgio chopping that one off in the back pocket.
Hasn't done too much wrong, Shannon Walsh, all day there before that kick.
So Giorgio clears to half back. Begley works his way into a fair bit of trouble, and ball goes out of bounds. It's 14-12-96, Coldstream 8-5-53, Sylvan. Let's go around the grounds with Steve White.
Whitehorse 8-11-59 lead Glen Waverley 5-6-36, and Warrandyte 14-6-90 lead Chirnside Park 7-6-48.
So 11 and a half minutes gone on the Eastland scoreboard final term. Third playing fifth, Fisher won the tap. And now Mundos once again, who's played well for the Cats today. They're away here, the Cats. Higgins pops them up towards the forward 50 arc. Schmidt paddling the ball in front of himself, taken down in the tackle there. But Kimpton's got it again. Does he fancy himself from here? Has got time and space. Goes to the check side. Makes no mistake. He's kicked the goal.
Well done.
So Sylvan, they go to 9-5-59. Coldstream 14-12-96. Just ticked over 12 minutes in the final term on the Eastland scoreboard.
Well, the good thing about that was that, you know, people might say, oh, he was a little bit hungry, but he actually looked inside to see if there was someone there, and there was no one in the right spot, so he had to continue on. Really nice goal. As I said, he's worked really hard. I thought, you know, that was pretty good work from Schmidt to work hard on the boundary line to give him the handball out. So, you know, the problem is down in the Sylvan forward line, they've had no one else. You know, early on, they had Lynch was giving him something, and Hewitt, but they've disappeared right out of the game. So, you know, Kimpton's worked really, really hard there.
10 minutes into the final term in other Division 4 games. Surrey Park have hit the front. They lead by 4 points, 53-49 against Fair Park out there. Davis Harrigan, the Catfish, old school drop kick punt inside forward 50 this time there by Carrigan. Goes to Sasia. He wants 6, Sasia. Can he get it? He can't. He pushed it left. Got excited there for a moment as we look at the Eastland scoreboard out here at Coldstream, which for those out there who've got that little twinkle in their eye, this is the old Bayswater scoreboard that has been brought out here to Coldstream as well. There's no time clock though. They that might be on lay-by there for season 2020. Eastland scoreboard 97-59 at the moment. As the kick comes back into play now, fisted back towards the centre half forward line. Good tackle there by Carrigan to bring his opponent to ground. The umpires are little bit happening in there, and you know, as the Cougars play the Cats, a bit of reow as it comes out wide. And keep ourselves entertained, don't we, as it comes out towards the direction there of Smith. Got it away to Mundos. He's had a really good game. Swings around now on the right boot, kicks it out towards the wing position underneath that time. Mario D'Alfonso kicked a goal in this game, takes a strong mark on the right boot, keeps it low, looking for his playing coach in Martin. It bounced away from him, hitting the deck. Jai Deacon hits there, and we'll go to Steve White around the grounds on the score centre.
Knox 11-19-85 lead Bayswater 9-12-66. Doncaster East 8-4-52 lead Moralbark 6-12-48.
14 and a half gone, final term on the Eastland scoreboard. 38 points the margin in favour of Coldstream. Fisher took it out of the ruck, slammed it on the boot up towards centre half forward. Ball going nowhere. Lynch Wrapped up in the tackle. We'll see a ball up at centre half forward for the Cats. Fisher once again wins the tap down. And no one, just Martin, just bursting his way through there. But Dale met him solidly. We'll see another ball up.
Surrey Park have kicked another 2 goals out to a 17-point lead in the final term over Fair Park. Looks like the Panthers are running away from the Lions in there in another clash.
So Schmidt puts it up to the top of the square. Brought down in the tackle there was the Coldstream defender by Lynch. And another ball up to ensue. 97 plays 59, 15 and a half minutes gone, final term. Turned on the weather beautifully today for us, Coldstream. Sun-drenched oval.
Haven't heard those words said for a long, long time.
Same sentence. As the Cats, Mundos, what can he do? Sells a bit of candy. Chip kick over the top, beautifully done. Finds a teammate there in Jones, who'll go back and fancy himself from here.
Well, he wouldn't have had too many shots at goal, seeing his
Giorgio got the handball receive and saluted as well. Straight over the goal umpire's head that goes. That was shake and bake slingshot, if ever you've seen one. Trent Giorgio kicks his first goal of the afternoon.
Well, I was just about to say, you're not going to see Jones taking too many shots at goal, considering he plays full back. So he's worked his way all the way up into the forward line, but that was clever, and that's the value of Giorgio. You know, his ability to be able to break over lines with his great kicking, and from there he's well outside 50. He's nailed it. So it's just a pity they're not able to get him into dangerous positions more often.
Well, he deserves a goal, Trent Giorgio. He's been fantastic today for the Cats. Down back, great to see him work his way forward, receive a handball and kick truly as we're back in the middle. The Cats win the tap. Carrigan, can he get boot to ball? No, he can't. Emmett bursting his way through. Alfonso inside forward 50. Martin, just brought to ground in the tackle there by Koga.
Mateo, win it again for the stoppage. Come on, mate. Keep going. You're going to go in. We don't need too many stopping back.
And the crowd getting right into this one out here at Coldstream Reserve. Dale wins the tap down. Stolen though by Emmett. Look away, handball to no avail though. Doesn't come to fruition. Craig to scoop up, mop up at half back, and then roost it down the wing. Beautiful mark taken there by Giorgio once again.
Absolutely their best player today, Sylvan.
By a long way. So Giorgio, missed kick. And that's what happens when you give a guy a rap. Asile, though, plays on, has a bounce. Deacon and Asile, you can raffle this one. How are they going to work it out? Asile kicks it around the corner to Cecilia, pops it up towards the top of the square. Deacon takes the mark and will kick from point blank range.
Well, there was nearly no way you could stuff that up, and they just about did. But clever kick from Cecilia. That was a very clever kick then. And, Deacon's got it, and now he should be able to slot away another goal for Coldstream.
Well, as you mentioned, he's already got one goal to his name, and this for the icing on the cake. Jai Deacon comes in, and he sprayed that one well right. Never looked like registering for a goal.
Well, that just about sums up that whole bit of play then, including Giorgio's attempt at kicking across goal where he dribbled along the ground, 3 or 4 fumbles, and then a kick from 25 metres out, missing the goal by a long way.
And a great to see old mate's second kick over the fence made it this time. It went straight back for the can as well. As the kick comes out now, as it's Mark Speed taken out there by Misson. How good is local footy? It doesn't get much better than this. As it comes out now, Sylvan on the right boot, up towards the wing position underneath it. D'Alfonso takes the mark. They want him to go on with it. Martin screaming for it across half forward. The kick goes over his head towards the Smith direction. Arms almost got chopped. Umpires said play on. Price got the handball away to Wagner on the right boot up towards the wing position. Underneath it there, Darcy Carrigan. He's kicked 2 goals today. He's been great, the co-skipper on the left boot. He'll squeeze it in towards the middle to the man who's kicked 5 goals in the first half. Cecilia bounced away from him. Carrigan goes after it again. Head only over the football. Only wanted the football as well. And he received a free kick in the middle of Coldstream Reserve. Winds around on the left boot now as the ball goes inside forward 50. Comes out towards Strawhair, got the handball away. Mundos on the right boot, kicked it out towards the wing position for Sylvan underneath at that time. Ryan Emmett takes a timely mark on the right boot, wasting no time. He'll go towards the Schmidt direction, one by. He couldn't pull it down over the top. Benny Thomas calls the spoil, and through it goes over the boundary line and out of bounds. Doncaster East lead by 9 points in the last term out at Zerby's reserve, so deep into that game also. And goal for goal out there today. Lead has been changing. Umpire throws it in. A big slap forward there by Sylvan. Little paddle over the boundary line and out of bounds, right in front of the broadcast position. Right in front of Michael Gordon, former president of Doncaster East and father of Dan Gordon, who's played a great game today. Around the grounds on the score centre, here's Steve White.
The Basin 14-7-91 leading the Mitcham 11-9-75, 29 minutes gone.
That's a huge win, that one, for the Basin. They get up over the line. That really
High five to you and me, Dan, on that one.
You heard it here first on EFL Insight during the week.
Award-winning EFL Insight.
Oh, my goodness.
Back-to-back this year, there's no doubt about that. Schmidt took it from the stoppage, hit the deck, we'll have a ball up.
So 98 plays 65, 21 minutes gone, final term. Huge win coming up for the Coldstream Football Club. As the Rucks go at it, Gordon wins the tap down. Carrigan, been so good for Coldstream today. Jones bursting his way through, and they find their way back into the middle. That's Carrigan once again, slammed on the boot, kick smothered though. Coldstream just going nowhere at the moment. Emmett in and amongst it, and the free kick coming back to Coldstream. And a bit going on. Griffin to take the free kick.
At 25 will solve this.
Yeah, exactly.
So the umpire blowing his whistle there, but play's stopped. And a yellow card rather, has come out. The umpire's just shown the yellow card there to Warren Schmidt, and you'd think that's his day done.
No relation.
So play restarts. Griffin to take the free kick.
And a 25.
So hands it off to Mackenzie, who pops it inside forward 50, out wide to the flank. Baton Leach has got plenty of time and space, sells a bit of candy, pops it up, and terrible kick in the end. Ward, last line of defence, goes across the ground, finds Trent Martin in the back pocket. The playing coach, Martin to Giorgio, and Martin goes back to Giorgio. So Giorgio at half back. Kick to Hampton. So Hampton, little chip pass, looking for Giorgio once again. Gee, he covers some ground, doesn't he?
He does.
Tell you what, he's putting his hand up for an award today.
Can hold his head very high.
Trojan-like.
Finds Hewitt on the wing, far side. Works it up towards half forward. Mark taken there by Higgins. So Zach Higgins. Long kick inside forward, 50 to the pack of players. Daniel Price, good strong mark though. And just gives a signal to slow it down a bit. 23 minutes ticked over in the final term. 98 plays 65. Griffin at half back takes the mark. Griffin, shocking looking kick in the end, but it works out okay. Barrel-like kick down the wing. And that's gone wide. Giorgio once again, this way, that way, works his way out of trouble and finds a man at half back now. Dangerous position though for the Cats as Asile spins his way out and finds, that was Verstegen. They go inside forward 50 again. Coldstream bouncing ball towards the square. Nobody at home. Strawhair. But this man once again, Cecile putting the pressure on. But they find a way out. Now Mundos on the wing will work his way down. He's another one who can hold his head high today for the Cats. Has played a good game. D'Alfonso once again puts them inside forward 50. The Cats flying for the mark there. Trent Martin, what can he do? Just pops it over the top, looking for Kempton, and a sure thing turned into a spoil there by Thomas, but it comes off the ground, and Kempton has kicked the goal, and he's got five for the day. Lee Kempton certainly can hold his head high today for the Cats, And gee, they made a meal of it there, Sylvan, but it worked out okay in the end. And they go to 11-5-71 Sylvan, Coldstream 15-8-98.
Actually thought he was pretty stiff not to get a free kick against Thomas, who wasn't watching the football there, but his second effort was absolutely sensational. Just a cool head in that instant.
And as I said, look, I think he's worked really hard. Look at him, he's kicked 5 goals, he's been under pressure the whole time. Been really impressed with the way he's worked in the forward line today, Gimpton.
Round the grounds with Steve White on the score centre.
Doncaster East 9-4-58 lead Mirrabah 6-13-49.
So the ball back in the middle. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast today. SEN Plus 1377. Right through till 6 o'clock. Damien Watson between 5 till 6 on the post-match show. We've got a blood rule, I believe.
No, it's a 666.
Okay, so a new rule.
And you get 25.
And a 25-metre penalty as well, of course. So
Coldstream.
I haven't seen too many of them paid throughout the season thus far. So we've been able to, as a league, been able to adjust to these rule changes, which has been really good to see.
Generally what happens is the player gives it away himself by realising he's in the wrong spot and trying to run away.
Kostreba on the right boot sends the ball very, very deep right towards the goal line. It's going to trickle through for a minor score. That'll be number 6 for Sylvan on the Eastland scoreboard, 11-6-72. They trail by 26 points, 15-8-98 is Coldstream. Around the grounds, Stephen White.
The Basin 14-7-91 lead Mitcham 13-9-87.
Keep the scores coming through at Footy EFL this afternoon.
So they bring it back into play through Verstegen. Long ball out wide to the back flank. Gordon takes the mark. Oh, it's gone out of bounds on the full, rather. He's protesting his case there. And Sylvan should see their way back inside forward 50. Can't be long left now. They trail by 26 points. Kick inside 50. Martin flew for it. Was unable to take it. Look away. Handball there was clever. And now Price to clear. Sasir at half back. Kick around the corner. And he's got Carrigan on the wing in plenty of space. Gets and goes up towards half forward. Looking for a teammate there in Dale. Batten Leach. Inside forward 50, up to the top of the arc, rather. Carrigan once again.
Covers so much ground, it's ridiculous.
It's just got the fortuitous bounce as well. How's this one going to go? Up towards the top of the square. Sure thing coming up. Faulkner makes no mistake. Oh, rather high up and under kick in the end, and has gone through for a minor score. Gee, so 15-9-99 Coldstream, 11-6-72 Sylvan, 27 points to margin, Eastland scoreboard. Let's go to Steve White.
2 final scores coming in from Division 1. Knox 11-19-85 have defeated Bayswater 11-13-79, and East Ringwood 7-6-48 have defeated Lilydale 5-10-40.
Oh, massive out there. Lilydale, who came back and got back on the winners list last week. We almost said that maybe it was the turning point to get back into form, and East Ringwood, well, they're like, well, the top 5 is still in reach for the Roos.
Well, the thing is now you've got Knox and East Ringwood both winning. Both were on the bottom. They've now gone to 4 wins. Mirrabah are now 3.5. They've gone half a game behind.
Surrey Park lead by 2 points into the last minute against Fair Park at the moment. We could get the catfish online, we'd get him to call the last minute, but I think he'll be taking a few shots on his camera as the ball goes inside forward 50 and Batten Leach takes the mark. He'll play on, he'll kick it to the top of the goal square. I don't know what he was trying to do with that kick. Strawhair in the front spot. Handball. It was crunched there by Dale. Carrigan was in there, hits the deck. Giorgio on top of him. Steve White around the ground.
Another final score. Baroni 11-11-77 have defeated Scoresby 7-10-52.
Well, there's the final siren, and Coldstream 27-point victors over Sylvan, 15-99 to Sylvan, 11-6-72. Third playing 5th on the ladder today, and gee, didn't Coldstream turn it up? It's leading the goal kickers for Coldstream was Dean Sasir with 5 majors. Adam Dale booted 2, as did Darcy Carrigan and Chris Witchell. Singles to Jai Deacon, Tyson McKenzie, Paul Wagner and Anthony Faulkner. While for Sylvan, Lee Kimpton booted 5 majors, and Lachlan Lynch with 2. The rest all singles. George Yu, Trent Martin, Matteo D'Alfonso and Jared Dietzel. But gee, what a victory here for the Cougars, and they create that buffer in 4th Division, Davo.
Well, especially if Surrey Park get up and beat Fair Park, that could be a huge result, because now Sylvan drop even further behind in that situation. So, look, a big win for Coldstream. So, Sylvan didn't go away. It's not like they came out and beat them, but once they got that 20-odd point advantage, they really gave that up in that last half, and when they needed to, they were able to kick a goal or put scoreboard pressure on, and they were able to do that for the entire last half. So it's a good win to Coldstream, and they'll be pleased that now they've got over Surrey Park and Sylvan, the last 2 teams that they've played. They're in that top 4 or 5 bracket.
It's interesting when you look at the way the game went today. It ebbed and flowed, didn't it? Coldstream, they built leads early on, but Sylvan reeled them in. But then in the end, it was too much to assail. But Coldstream holding on. But it's interesting when you look at this big ground, though. We spoke about this pre-game, and I'm pretty sure we spoke about it at half-time as well, that teams seem to get lost structurally. Do you think that's the case with Sylvan today?
I agree 100%. I think they went too wide too often and too early. And I think they had dominance in the ruck. They didn't use it. They didn't then get the ball into dangerous situations, because when they put the ball into a dangerous situation, they had guys like Kimpton down there who were hitting the scoreboard regularly. They just weren't able to get it down there often enough. And then eventually, the one thing that Coldstream did very well today was, I thought their transition from defence into forward 50 was excellent. They moved the ball sideways, they chipped it around, ran it along the wing, and then brought it back inside. And the difference was they had 2 players in Dale and Cecilia who, if they put it into their areas, they were always going to be a chance to score.
Let's go around the grounds with Steve White. Steve, any final scores coming through?
Yeah, Upper Ferntree Gully, 16-5, 101 have defeated Wanturna South 4-13-37. Just repeating the score between Knox and Bayswater. Knox 11-19, 85 have defeated Bayswater 11-13, 79. East Ringwood 7-6, 48 defeated Lilydale 5-10-40. And in Premier Division, at Bolwyn 21-10, 136 lead North Ringwood 8-7, 55. Vermont 15-14 at 104, leading Montrose 3-7-25, and Norwood 10-11-71, leading Noble Park 7-9-51.
Well, let's go to the song in the Coldstream rooms. Great to hear, and it's unique to local footy, hearing that atmosphere in the club rooms after the game with those unique songs that Coldstream have got out here. We don't often get to hear the songs given the I suppose for technical reasons, but great to hear, Davo.
Yeah, it was, and you're right. There are a lot of clubs follow AFL clubs in their theme songs, but
the red and the blue.
But that certainly is something that's a little bit different, and it's great to hear. And they certainly, you could tell with the oomph that they sang it, that they're pretty happy with that win.
Well, going around the grounds now, Steve White, just picking up from that Upper Ferntree Gully Wanturna South score. Upper Ferntree Gully 16-5, 101 defeating Wanturna South 4-13-37. Our very own Mark Freeman, the commercial manager of the Eastern Football League, was out there, and his thoughts on the game were that Upper Ferntree Gully were just prepared to run harder in waves, create open space and finish off, and they had no pressure whatsoever from Wanturna South. The midfield and flankers just didn't run so hard defensively, and Upper Ferntree Gully just too fast on the bigger ground.
Well, I've got one other score coming in. Surrey Park 10-5, 65 have defeated Fair Park 8-15, 63.
10-5 to 8-15.
Yeah.
So 23 shots to 15 and you've lost the game. Well, they say bad kicking's bad football. and that's a situation where I'm sure that's what they'll definitely be talking about, Fair Park, when they review that game. That's a great win for Surrey. That now keeps them right in the mix. I don't know what the ladder was at this stage, but I think if you look at Sylvan losing and Coldstream and Surrey winning...
Surrey were in 4th on the ladder.
They were in 4th on the ladder, so they're now going to maybe even go a game clear of Sylvan, or if they weren't already a game clear, then they could now be 2 games clear.
Yeah, well, with Sylvan going down today, Forest Hill we can assume got up, but they are still a game clear, Surrey Park. But gee, Fair Park now have lost 2 in a row in Division 4. How do you see that?
Well, it's certainly a concern for them. I mean, especially as the fact that they've now lost to East Burr. Oh no, they lost to East Burwood
by a kick,
and they've now lost to Sylvan, and then now lost to Surrey Park. So 3 of the teams that they could potentially come up against in finals, they've lost in the second half of the season. So, that's something that they get to play East Burwood in round 18 this year. So that'll be a big game.
Just quickly, Surrey Park, who's currently sitting 4th on the ladder before today's round of action, they've got a superior percentage to those sides sitting far below them on the ladder, and it's far great. They had a percentage of 184 leading into today, Sylvan 162, Forest Hill 122. So you'd want to hope Forest Hill had been able to build on that percentage today against Nunawading.
Well, and that's what they need to do. Forest Hill have got a few games against those lower sides, so they need to really build it up, because 50% is at least a game and a bit.
A couple more scores coming in. Boronia 11-11-77 have defeated Scoresby 7-10-52. Templestowe 6-9-45 have defeated Heathmont 5-10-40. And in Premier Division again, Balwyn ran out comprehensive winners 22-10-142 over North Ringwood 8-7-55. Vermont spanked Montrose 19-19-133 to 4-9-33.
Well, there's some big wins there in the Premier Division. That's very interesting. But that win now for Templestowe over Heathmont, that's Heathmont's 3rd loss in a row.
Yeah.
That is really going to put pressure on them also now within that final 4, because I think Templestowe now go above them, and they may even kick at least 1 game clear, which is disappointing when Heathmont have worked really hard to get into a position of being in the 4.
And we saw them play a couple of weeks ago, and their best footy was great, wasn't it? When they faded out of the game, when Mitcham took control, they were well off it, but their best footy was fantastic, I thought.
So I don't know. So if we look at the ladder there, we've got now Heathmont losing again. So with Boronia winning, Templestowe winning, Ringwood winning, and Mitcham being beaten, that actually gives them a 2-game buffer now, and the Basin jump up to be closer to Heathmont. So that's a really disappointing loss for Heathmont, because it puts them now under a bit of pressure to try and keep up to get into that final 4 position.
One more score coming in. Doncaster East 9-5-59 have defeated Mooroolbark 6-14-50.
Well, retaining the Paris Harvey Cup there, Doncaster East, in today's clash. But getting back to Division 2 action, that victory for Boronia last week over Ringwood, you can't understate that now, given the fact that Boronia are now, have they turned their season around? They're in 4th position now, and Templestowe obviously got up, but they're clicking along very nicely, and it's created that gap on the top 4 now, and the sides underneath.
It has, and I haven't had a look, but one of the things that's going to really impact on this ladder at the end of the year are going to be, who do those teams play 3 times? Because they've got the 8-team division, there's a number of them that play sides 3 times. So it would be interesting those last couple of rounds to see who plays. So if I have a quick look, Ringwood and Boronia play again in round 18. Heathmont have got Templestowe play the Basin in round 18. And then you've got Boronia and Templestowe in round 17, and you've got the Basin and Ringwood and Mitcham and Heathmont. Oh. So round 17 is going to, I think, or even 16. Round 16 you've got Ringwood and Mitcham, and you've got Baronia and the Basin. So the last 3 rounds in Division 2 are going to be absolutely crucial, and it's going to be difficult to even suggest who's going to finish on top of the ladder, maybe right until round 18 this year, which is exactly what you want.
Even more crucial considering the final 2 scores for Division 2. Ringwood 17-7-109 have defeated Mulgrave 13-11-89, but Mitcham 15-9-99 have defeated the Basin 15-7-97.
They have come from the clouds again and won a close one. Gee, I tell you what, the one thing that we've found out and noticed about Mitcham, their ability to win close games of football.
And grind out victories.
And Neil would be really, really happy with the fact that in a difficult situation they've been able to get up. And I believe I tipped that one. So
after we went the early crow.
On the early crow, all these podcasts. No, it's all right. Yeah, I got that one. So look, it's gee whiz, and that's why we've made this decision as in the AFL to go to these divisions, because what you're getting now is you're getting some really solid football all the way through. And we've talked about it even in 4th Division now that you've still got 5 teams competing for those 4 spots, and it's going to go right down to the end. And as we said, Justin Cicluna, he'd be pulling his hair out because of the fact that Forest Hill have got the bye in round 18. They've got the bye, and you've got teams like Surrey will play Nuttawading, Sylvan will play Croydon Emlock, Fair Park have got East Burwood, and you've got Coldstream and Kilsyth. So they've got no chance to impact at all. They've got to sit there and wait for results if it gets down to that stage.
And from here on in, every week is so crucial for Forest Hill in the fact that, they've got to bank wins, but when they do bank the wins, they've got a bank percentage with it. It's a non-negotiable.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. So, and again, we haven't looked to see what teams play. They've got the bye, so what teams are getting byes at what stages, and what teams play each other 3 times again in that Division 4. So, lots of permutations and combinations.
So, finally, 2 more scores. The final 2 scores coming in from Division 4. East Burwood 25-18-168 have defeated Kilsyth 3-4-22.
Crosstown.
And Forest Hill 25-13-163 have defeated Nunawading 10-6-66. Let's go down to Ben Moore and Smith.
Great to be down here at Boundary Side and in the rooms as well. A very happy Coldstream Football Club. We've come out here. It's been a few years before we've done so, and this side's up and about at the moment, and I'm standing next to a man who had a sensational game today. Shannon Walsh, mate, your game today was absolutely sensational. Reading the play nicely. Your back 6 has worked so well today as well, and just those left foot kicks of yours were absolutely spot on today, buddy. You must be absolutely wrapped with the team's performance.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked. It was, a good game by the boys because Sylvan coming off a big win. So, I felt good coming in. Good day. After last week, the weather was pretty bad. But the boys just showed composure, 4 quarters of footy, and we got the win as a result.
Your tackling was really good today as a side, and we might just walk a little bit closer because it seems to be breaking up a little bit. The tackling was absolutely sensational, and just the aggressiveness at the football, it seemed like you boys really wanted it.
Yeah, coming in, with Sylvan being such a physical side, we showed really good tackling, and we tried to spread after we tackled, so really make them move and use our ground, coming off their small ground. So, our tackling was just excellent. With Deeks, getting about 8 tackles, just the pressure, and then, spread after that, which is good.
To the caravan?
Shannon, it's Brett Davidson here, mate. Fantastic win today. I thought that the ability of your 2 big key forwards, I don't know, you wouldn't call Dean Cecilia a big key forward, but he's certainly a key man. The fact that you had those targets really straightens the team up, so you don't have to go wide all the time. You're able to spread from defence and then move it forward. Must give you a lot of confidence when you're moving forward that way.
Yeah, with those 2 targets, and you got Faulkner down there and Witchell as well, moving well, and they really work in together well. So, and plus we've got Mitch Edmonds coming back soon, so with another big forward. But those boys, Chock's our big man. He's the where to go, and try to get the little small forwards coming in from him, bat and leach. Just all the boys just working well. Great day and a great win.
And finally from me, your captain or your co-captains, but Darcy Carrigan, he must be an inspiration to you guys, because watching the game, apart from the fact that he's able to get the ball and use the football, he gets some fairly decent hard tackles, and he gets up every single time and continues to move on. So must be a very inspirational player to have around the club.
Yeah, Darcy's just he's great to play with. You know, he's always got your back, and he's so loyal to this club. You know, he's never going to go anywhere. But yeah, his game, especially 100th game today, yeah, he's just a great player to play with, and I'm great to have him by my side and running out towards him with him together.
Just on the midfield battle today, Shannon, I felt that Sylvan had the advantage in the ruck, winning more hit-outs, but it was the positioning of the Coldstream midfielders that were able to pounce on that and really dominate the clearances.
Yeah, with our ruckman Toddy going down in the first quarter of the hamstring, I knew it was going to be a bit of a struggle in the ruck, especially with my size against those other big boys. But yeah, the mids, they really, our goal was to be defence first. Let the ruck win, let's get the tackles on, and then spread. But yeah, the boys in the midfield, they're just outstanding today.
And what about as a playing group on the bigger ground? Do you find you've got an advantage when teams travel out here to play? You guys train on it, you play on it quite regularly, and the fitness and structures come into it as well.
Yeah, it's definitely a beautiful game, ground to play on. We try to use all the sizes we can, so the spread, especially Sylvan coming off a small ground, we really try to make them work to our game, and that's with spread, and then yeah, come on the inside and go long, down deep, and really hold the footy in there.
Fantastic stuff, Shannon. Congratulations on the win today, mate. We've seen you twice this year. You went down to Espel, and now we've seen your best football out here today. We look forward to calling you guys in the final series. I think your final's bound now. The guys were pretty happy in the rooms when they found out Fair Park lost today to Surrey Park as well also. Hashtag just saying, but enjoy the night, mate. I know there's a ladies' function on tonight. The cocktails are cheap and nasty as well, so we might have to go in and get amongst that as well. Congratulations, mate, and we look forward to seeing you guys play again soon.
Thanks, mate. Thanks, boys.
Beautifully done there by Ben Warren-Smith with Shannon Walsh from the Coldstream Football Club, of course, down there for car sales. Let's go now to Steve White once again with a couple more around the ground scores.
Yeah, Baldwin 24-12, 156. Comprehensive winners over North Ringwood 9-8-62. Just repeating the previous score from it. Roeville 13-11-89, defeated Doncaster 11-9-75. Montrose 4-9-33. Defeated by Vermont 19-19, 133, and another score coming in from Division 2 was Speronia 11-11, 77, defeating Scoresby 7-10, 52.
Well, across boundary side just shortly for car sales, but gee, Doncaster, an honourable loss today, and that's much better than what they've had in previous weeks.
Without a doubt, they'd be much happier with that effort.
Let's go boundary side to Ben Warren-Smith for car sales.
Well, another happy Cougar down here, boundary side, a man who's returned to the club this year, and Dan Gordon, we called you throughout the game, mate, and I tell you what, you were right around the football. Your skills actually really shone today in this division of football. You must be absolutely thrilled playing back at the Coldstream Football Club these days.
Yeah, absolutely loving it, mate. I mean, I sort of needed a fresh start after last year, and Daniel Price gave me a call, and I live in Richmond, so I didn't think I was going to come down. It was a bit too far, but I came down for a training session, absolutely loved it. So I thought, why not give back to the younger boys? And yeah, it's a bit of a change of scenery with all the young kids running around. They're making me feel pretty old, but yeah, absolutely loving it back down here.
Is there a position that you've been put in this year? Because it seemed like you floated a little bit around the grounds today, and a little bit here and there, and we know you're a really good reader of the football. Have you been given a little bit of ownership on the ground to put yourself in those positions, or where does Chad think your best spot is?
Yeah, he really wants me at centre-half back, really setting up the boys from behind. So a little bit different today. Have Toddy Clayton going down very early with the hamstring, so bit of a change position in the ruck there. So, but yeah, he wants me setting up the boys from centre-half back, and with Verstegen, Chicken, myself, and Jakey Idema as well, looking to read the ball and really rebound off that half-back.
The camaraderie that you guys have in the rooms was really good to watch then, and I love the fact that Chad goes in there and gives you a pep talk and talks about what went well with the game, then asks the question question about how you guys thought you went and where you won the game today. And it's a really good vibe in there at the moment.
Yeah, well, a lot of the boys are from around the area. So there's a few boys in there that could quite easily go up to the higher divisions and walk into sides up in the higher divisions. But they're such a close-knit group and they want to go and play together and be successful. So, yeah, I mean, when we've just got to have that belief that they are good enough, and when we want to play and attack the footy and have intent, we can beat any side on our day.
Brett Davidson's in the caravan up there, mate.
Yeah,
Brett, how are you?
Yeah, good. Two boys that are out at the moment, Shield and Edmonds.
Yep.
When they come into this side, and I believe it's only going to be in the next couple of weeks, they will really give some real extra balance to that side. And going into finals, it's going to be really exciting having both of those back into the group, won't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I think people kind of forget the start to the season Cam Shield had. I think he played the first 3 games and was probably clear best on by a mile in all 3. And then obviously hurt his collarbone. So we're looking forward to having him back. And then Mitchell Edmonds as well, really straightening us up at centre forward. There's going to be some pretty stiff blokes to miss out, but it's a good position to be in.
And one of the things that I noticed, and I said before to Shannon about the way that I really like the way you transition the footy out of defence. I like your chips sideways, you switch well, and then run the other side. Your ability yourself to be able to control the way that ball moves out, you must be really happy with the way that happened today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I love playing on a big ground. There's plenty of space, and so those switches can really break the game open. So when you take that mark on one side, our defenders really know to spread as soon as we take a mark. So we're all on the same page with that. So there's always generally a couple of blokes running around the other side, and we get that switch, and it opens up the game, and it's really hard to sort of defend.
Talk to us more about your shift to Division 4 footy. Are there certain facets of your game that you've had to reinvent or adjust to?
Yeah, well, actually, I'm quite surprised that the standard is quite well. And as I said before, there are players running around this division that could quite easily go up to Division 1 or the higher divisions and walk into sides. And so basically it was just about getting a feel for a new team, really. I mean, I've playing at Donny East for probably about 8 years. You kind of get to know your teammates and things like that, and that was something that I wasn't really expecting is getting 21 new players playing alongside. You got to work out how they play and things like that. So it's just adjusting to the new teammates.
Fantastic stuff, Dan. It's always great to watch you play, mate. That's twice for the year now, and good to see Mum and Dad out here today supporting you as well, so there's no favouritism back towards Zerby's Reserve, that's for sure.
No, they go 50-50, 1 week on, 1 week off.
and I reckon you're the favourite son as well, mate, so you probably, there's no doubt you are the favourite son. I think there might be a thumbs up coming out from around the side there. I think they're listening as well, but anyway, good stuff. And you know what, you're Richmond, so what happens when you got club functions on down here? Is it an Uber all the way back to Richmond? Are the club sorting you out with this sort of situation?
No, I've got a very, very good girlfriend who comes, picks me up, and usually comes and doesn't drink. So I'm very well looked after on that front.
Fantastic stuff, mate. The place is above buzz. It's great to be back down here at Coldstream. The park's in perfect condition. It's a big ground. We love coming out here. Why does it take so long for us to come back out to Coldstream all the time? We'll be back in a short amount of time, and we'll watch you guys play finals football, no doubt. Thanks for joining us.
No worries, mate. Thanks, Benny.
Thank you to Ben Warren Smith down at boundary side for car sales with Dan Gordon, who played a fantastic game today.
A very quick one.
Yeah, right.
Steve White, let's go to you again around the ground with a few of those final scores coming in.
Yeah, just another one. Norwood 10-11-71 have defeated Noble Park 7-9-51, and just that's pretty much does it for around the grounds in terms of the final updated scores. So one more from Waverley Blues. Waverley Blues 14-8-92 have defeated Ferntree Gully 10-11-71.
Gee, that's a massive result there, isn't it? And they continue their second half of the season charge, the Waverley Blues, to a hopeful finals berth.
Without a doubt. I was just wondering, had we heard the final score, because I hadn't been listening, the Blackburn-South Croydon game?
Blackburn by 16 points.
Oh, that's a big win. That's a big win for them, and especially when we have a look at the fact that Roeville have got up, Norwood have got up, Baldwin have got up, and Vermont. That really puts pressure on South Croydon now.
Yeah, it certainly does, to retain that fifth spot that they had. And Noble Park as well playing Norwood today. Did we have a score from that match?
Yeah. No, Norwood, just as I said, 10-11-71, defeated Noble Park 7-9-51.
So there you go. So Norwood hot on the heels of South Croydon, fighting for that fifth position.
Exactly, and if we go back to looking about Waverley Blues, boys, we talk about the fact that, they're sneaking up. They're really working themselves into the right area at the right time and playing the right sort of football. So next week, Waverley Blues play Chirnside Park. So while Chirnside have been competitive today, they certainly weren't disgraced. They scored their 7 goals, but still got beaten by 7 or 8. Waverley Blues have another opportunity to put another win on the board next week and put some more pressure on the teams further up the ladder.
Well, we'd best get into our votes here. Our 3, 2 and 1 for the Eastland Player of the Day. $100 gift card, all thanks to Eastland, the #1 shopping destination, not only in the eastern suburbs, but in Melbourne.
They've got everything.
They do, don't they? They've even got a hotel out there. So if you're doing a bit of shopping and you're feeling a bit tired, you can book yourself in for the night to refresh. So it's absolutely fantastic out that way.
Or if you meet someone special out there as well.
Well, starting off with our 3, 2 and 1, Brett Davidson.
I struggled today. I must admit, I found it really difficult to find a 4-quarter player. But what I've done is I've given 1 vote to Darcy Carrigan, and I don't think it's his best game. But what I did notice was he receives a lot of treatment. When he gets rid of the ball, he's certainly knows that he's been playing football. And today, especially in that last half, I thought he played a great football through the middle. I've given him 1 vote. I've given 2 votes to Trent Giorgio. His work after half-time was outstanding. His run, his carry, his use of the football was fantastic. I've given 3 votes to Adam Dale. I thought every single time the ball went into that forward line area, he was a player that influenced the contest. And if we're looking at the game, the team that were able to score the goals, he scored a couple himself, but I reckon he would have had 5 goal assists today. And his physical contest at the time in that forward area was the difference between the two sides. I've given him 3 votes.
Very nicely done, Davo. I'll give you my 3, 2 and 1. Now, 1 vote I gave to Darcy Carrigan. Thought he was fantastic today. Trent Giorgio down back was brilliant for Sylvan, but my 3 votes go to Dean Cecere.
Okay, and I'm going to change it up a little bit as well, but our 1s and 2s are all identical this week because I'm giving 1 vote to Carrigan also. There are some apologies as well that'll come after my votes. 2 votes to Trent Giorgio, but I'm giving my 3 votes today to Shannon Walsh. I thought that was a 4-quarter. You talked about trying to find that 4-quarter performer. I actually believe that he was a true 4-quarter performer this afternoon, Shannon Walsh. So he's getting my 3 votes today. Adam Dale, he was absolutely great. I thought Chris Witchell, he was excellent as well. There was a handful of players. I thought Mundos for Sylvan was fantastic as well, his second half. So, like we say, it was a difficult day to give votes, but there can only be one winner, Dan.
Yeah, certainly. Steve White, have you got any votes to indulge us with? Or?
No, put me on the spot there, mate. I think I'd pick Dean Cecere for my 3 votes.
Dean Cecere for 3 votes. So Dean Cecere's out in front with 6. Trent Giorgio in second with 4. Adam Dale and Shannon Walsh with 3 apiece. Darcy Carrigan with 2. So Dean Cecere...
let's take off Steve's because he's only given 3 and he watched a screen for half the day. So what is it taking off those 3 votes?
That's fair enough.
Because he hasn't done a 2 and 1, so it skews the votes.
In asterisk ineligible.
So how does that look?
Giorgio.
So Giorgio, our Eastland Player of the Day today, takes out the $100 Eastland gift card for all proudly brought to you by Eastland, the #1 shopping destination in the eastern suburbs.
I think the Trojan workhorse today will go to Adam Dale from the Coldstream Football Club, which was sensational. He gets the double up because his goal in that third term was sensational. Tobin Brothers goal today. $50 gift card coming his way from Coles and Meyer. I hope you've enjoyed the broadcast. Damien Watson, 5 till 6 here on SEN Plus 1377. Steve White around the grounds. You've been absolutely sensational this afternoon. We thank you.
Thank you.
Brett Davidson, we'll see you next week at Balwyn.
Certainly shall.
Dan Sensick, Ben Warren Smith signing off. EFL Sunday tomorrow. Stay with us.
The award-winning Crunch Time this...
And you're clear.
Thanks, Nigel.
On 11:16.
Yeah, we'll talk to you next time. See ya.